Welcome to the Apocalypse Rescheduled podcast. This is episode 23. We don't have what's the
We
band
didn't pick one.
name?
Oh no.
Beats by Quay.
Beats by Quay.
Oh god, that's the worst
Fine.
one there.
Chemical toilet then.
Fine. I'm certain Chemical Toilet is already a band.
Desperately seeking memes.
Nah,
Anything with memes in it is a win.
Chemical Toilet's got to be a band name already, but we're gonna go with it. It's fine.
That's fine. Let's find out.
We go to the Wikipedia page for chemical toilet. No, there's no disambiguation.
I like whenever I'm looking at a wave.
Oh, that's fucking gross.
Whenever I'm
It's
looking at a
thing.
wave, yeah, of course it is, Corey. That's what porta potties are,
Ew.
or whatever other non-brand.
It's a
name.
band from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is it really?
No,
It's
it
a
can't
band
be.
formed by the members of the gang after figuring out they could make it big even without musical talent.
Yeah, that's it.
Is
It
it
is.
really?
It absolutely is. Boy, that's convenient because it ties right back into.
Who came up with this band name?
I
Ben
think it
probably
wasn't.
did.
Well, here's the thing: we can actually check because we have the whole conversation that's nothing but that. So
Yeah, but it's a lot of work.
I'll
That's
look
so
for it
hard.
right now while we're doing this.
Well, we were going to talk about that nice connecting thread to It's Always Sunny.
Yeah,
and how Danny
season.
DeVito almost
Yeah,
died.
we will. I think season 12 premieres like really soon. It's sometime this month. It might have already
I
happened.
think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it might have been yesterday. So I'll have to get on top of that.
Ooh, I know the other one came up on Netflix.
Yeah, season
so I should
11
watch that.
just got put up on Netflix. Oh, he's echoing.
That
God damn it.
that means I haven't seen season 11 yet, so I could do
Yeah,
that.
it's currently on Netflix. But yeah, no, Danny DeVito.
Am I still echoing?
I don't think so, but it's hard to tell sometimes.
Right.
No, I think this is the year Danny DeVito is going to die, guys. I'm going to put that one out there. If I'm wrong, then I'll feel good about it, honestly. So win-win.
On the It's Always Sunny IMDb page, it goes out to season 14.
Yeah, they renewed the contract for another 2 seasons after this.
Oh no, I went to Wikipedia to check his age, and he's just got like white frizzled hair
yeah,
coming out the sides of his head.
Yeah.
He looks terrible.
yeah. No, he's had
He
white
looks
hair for
terribly
years,
old.
Thomas.
I didn't
He's
know.
Oh wait, that's him.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You guys
looks fake.
didn't know Danny DeVito is old?
I didn't know he looked like that.
Yeah, no, he does. See, that's why I keep telling you got to differentiate between real Danny DeVito and fake Danny DeVito.
I don't like to acknowledge that he's a real human.
Hey, I get that. But no, he almost
Kinda-
died filming season 11. In the last episode, there's a scene where they're underwater, and apparently Corey hasn't watched it. But Danny DeVito, of course, is a very buoyant human being, as you might guess just from looking at him. And
Yeah.
consequentially, he doesn't sit at the bottom of a pool very well. So, in order to film the scene, they had to weigh him down
Oh no.
at the bottom of the pool to keep him from floating up to the top constantly because they couldn't get the shot otherwise. And then at the end of the sequence, he and the rest of the gang have to swim up to the top of the water to escape the situation. And Danny DeVito couldn't get out on his own. He got stuck at the bottom because of the weights. And they had to go in and rescue him, and he almost drowned.
Why not just use like a pulley rope system, man?
Well, they didn't anticipate his inability to get to the top, I think.
They anticipated it enough to tie fucking cinder blocks to him.
Oh no.
You'd think it was just a really long, drawn-out professional hit.
Now you can compare him to Jackie Chan. He does all his own stunts.
It's true. All one of them.
I've inadvertently closed my window. Oh well.
He did one and almost died from it, and that's enough.
Yeah. Hey, he
mean,
did.
that's about the
he,
rate
he
that
did.
Jackie
He did his
Chan
own.
does.
He did his own stunts in Batman Forever, probably, or Returns.
When he was the Penguin
Yeah.
Man. Oh,
Remember
that
when-
was
remember when he got
gross.
blown up?
That was fucking gross.
Ugh.
God, but he's perfect for the Penguin.
Yeah. That's why they haven't done him
He is
since
the
then.
Penguin.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess they've done him in like other versions, but they haven't done a live action Penguin since.
What in the fuck? So I just typed in Danny DeVito into Google Images, and there's one here at him as a Gears of War character. For some reason.
Of course, there is.
Oh,
Someone
thought
I gotta
check
was
that
a good
out.
idea. Fucking, oh god. What was the movie of the week again?
It was Hellboy 2, The Golden Army.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. I watched that fucking movie twice.
Did you?
This weekend, yeah.
Why?
The first time I watched it, I didn't pay attention at all, and so I watched it again, and I didn't really pay attention the second time.
What was?
But I realized it's because it's a boring movie.
I don't see how you could call it boring.
I don't know, man. It just Thomas kind of ruined it.
I mean,
Chemical Toilet, by the way, is Corey's band name.
Oh,
I thought
Okay.
I thought it was, but it's definitely his. You were probably just watching Sunny and said that's fun and put it in.
I totally forgot if I did that. Maybe I did.
Well, it's not a real band name regardless. Oh well. Nope.
I mean, it is though.
Yeah, I guess. I'm sure there's a Chemical Toilet subsequently. Did you not know what a chemical toilet was, Corey?
Nah,
like porta potties.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's fucking gross. Porta potties are gross.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Well, they're
not
they're necessarily
supposed to not
gross
be.
though.
I mean, yeah.
What else are you gonna do?
It's a movable
Go
poop
before.
hut.
Go before you leave to wherever you're going. where
That's
the
what
poop
we
hut
should
is.
change the band name to.
Well, they're often
Portable poop
Movable
hut.
poop hut.
Yep, you're right. That's what the band name of the week is now.
All right.
I'm making an executive decision. Decision. All right.
Okay.
It doesn't change
That's
anything about like the thumbnail will look the same. It'll be very similar, but you know.
Oh no.
But yeah, regarding Hellboy
Oh,
2,
no.
I think the problem is since I don't think Corey has seen the first movie, and it's been like ages since I've seen it. It doesn't really give you like, it doesn't work on its own.
Yeah,
It
it
works
does
a lot better when yeah, it like you have like very little reason to give a shit about anything that's happening unless you're already invested in the characters from the first movie. So
Yep.
if you're gonna see Hellboy 2, definitely see Hellboy 1 like at least the same week.
I didn't. You're supposed to have seen the movie, Corey. How did you not know that you needed to see Hellboy in order to watch Hellboy 2?
He wasn't gonna watch 2 movies anyway.
He watched
I wasn't
Hellboy
gonna
2
watch it.
twice.
Yeah, but the first
Yeah.
that's because the first time he wasn't even watching.
I gave it the benefit of the doubt, man, and then I realized, oh, I didn't like it.
Yeah. It's like half that and half I think the pacing is weird.
It probably is. Yeah,
Because it's just like
Thomas said those
It's like-
fucking white kids were all made of semen, and that ruined it for me.
oh yeah, those the forest fuckers.
the
I
elves,
couldn't
Thomas. The word
unhear
is
it.
elf.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't want to say elf because look at them. Fucking look at them. They're gross. Things look like they're made of just like solidified jizz.
When
But
they
then
die, they turn
somebody
into the
took like
solidified
When they
colored
die, they
pencils
turn
and
into
just drew
stone.
on
I
it.
don't understand where you're getting this from.
When they die, they turn into like this candle wax looking stone.
It was but it was still stone, Thomas. The fact that it looked like
yeah, I
candle
know,
wax
and
doesn't mean it's
they
not
look
stone.
different when they're not dead. What do you want?
They have white skin. They're Aryan.
They don't have. It's milky white though.
Yeah, just like you.
No, I'm like pinkish beige.
This is a joke, Thomas. Obviously,
I get it.
Obviously, you don't look like a person from Hellboy 2.
Yeah,
He wishes he did.
there were normal people in that too.
Like, what's his
Don't
name?
look like any of those either.
First of all, did you know Seth MacFarlane? I noticed his name in the credits. I was like, who the hell was he?
What?
He plays the German guy. He plays the ghost
Of
man.
course he fucking does. The voice sounded more familiar
Yeah,
than
it did.
I
And
thought it would
I didn't know.
from just having seen this movie before.
Yeah.
I liked the Ghost Man. He was cool.
He was a neat concept for a character, but I could not give a shit about him.
Well, I mean, yeah. There's no reason to think that he can die.
When he
No,
took
not
over
even
all
that. I
those
just didn't
robots,
give a
that
shit
was
about
pretty
his
He
cool.
took over one robot, Corey, not a bunch of robots.
Well, whatever.
He took out a bunch of robots, but they all come back because indestructible.
I mean, technically, anytime he takes over a robot, he's taking over 2 robots, because he's already taken over a robot all the time.
No,
But
Thomas,
no,
he's not.
the suit like went limp.
Yeah, it's not a robotic suit. It's just a containment suit.
It can be both.
I guess it could have like animatronic or
Yeah.
some mechanical component that you might qualify it as a robot.
Just an auto grip feature.
Sure.
So that way he can just stop focusing on it when he has to hold on to something.
And the mouth moved up and down all the time doing something. I guess that's a little bit robotic.
Yeah, no, that was fucking... Yeah, why did they make it have, like, some sort of weird crab mouth?
Because
I
people
don't understand
maybe he
that.
had a weird crab mouth in life.
That's unlikely. It was heavily implied that he was just a person that died.
A real one.
I don't know. I assume he's a comic book character, and Thomas, you're echoing again. But I assume he was a comic book character that was adapted. I just don't know. I've never read much Hellboy comics. Mostly because they're very episodic.
Stylist. Oh,
They're also very stylistic, but the narrative
funny.
the narrative is often limited, and I just get bored. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I believe it.
There's entire comics where there aren't any words, and I say, it's pretty pictures.
What's the point?
But
What's the point of anything, Corey?
He fought things, and then
You guys used a porta potty?
yes,
before?
of course.
Oh.
Anytime that you're at a location that doesn't have bathrooms, they usually have a porta potty. I don't like what concerts. That's basically it, really. Concerts,
Football games?
I guess
Shitty summer camps.
like yeah. I can't think of any other instances where I actually used one offhand.
A shitty summer camp?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, like a lot of them have like
Well, they were out in the woods, right?
they have like outhouses instead. They have like permanent wood constructed outhouses, but that's really not any
That's-
different.
You get splinters in your ass.
Well,
Yeah.
they're usually pretty wore down. It's usually taken.
Someone-
Everybody else already got
somebody else
already got splinters.
already got them for you.
Somebody took the
Thanks.
bullet for you on that one.
Thanks, guy.
I mean, Corey, it's not an optimal solution, but it's also
Well,
the best
may-
for the amount of money
maybe
people
they'll-
will put into it.
maybe they make those outhouses already worn down so you don't get splinters.
Yeah, they only use wood that's been sitting out.
You
in
know,
the
like
sun.
sanding it or something.
Yeah,
No, Thomas, that's not an option.
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. They just have some guy just rub his ass on it until it...
That's the way to do it, yep.
Like how people do with chopsticks when they get them. But
Yeah.
you know, with a
What
outhouse.
what they do is they get them and they throw them away because they're chopsticks.
Yeah, apparently China used all the wood in China making chopsticks.
Yeah, man. Why would you use chopsticks when there's a fucking fork?
You could just buy one
Oh,
plastic
bringing it back
pair.
to us, our discussion about It's Always Sunny new season out on TV and Netflix. Netflix is also starting A Series of Unfortunate Events series.
Okay, so didn't they already have one?
Yeah,
There was
I know
a
It
movie.
wasn't from Netflix.
No.
Wasn't
There was-
there a
no,
show?
There was a movie forever
there was
ago.
a movie,
and it wasn't
with
great.
Jim Carrey, and it did the first.
Oh, that thing was gross.
It was awful. It did the
Yeah.
first 3 books in like an hour and 45 minutes, and it was just awful.
This
There's
one's
11, right?
There's
Or
13,
12,
I think,
13.
because unlucky. Get it? I'm
Yeah.
Lemony
Wah,
Snicket.
wah.
Don't look up pictures of me on the internet, or you'll be disappointed.
Let's look her up. Him. It.
them.
He wrote himself into the story, guys.
I mean, that's not the first time it's happened, and it won't be the last.
Yeah, but his sister gets killed.
I don't care.
He looks like the most boring.
Yeah, he
human
does.
being I've
Stephen
ever
Sure
King wrote
does.
himself into one book like 3 times. Like there were 3 of them.
These
fucking
books
retarded.
came out so long ago. Like, does anyone even? They weren't even that.
No,
good.
they were
Does
never
anyone-
great.
No one cares.
That's the thing. They came out at like the same time as the Harry Potter books, so everybody wanted series of books, and I don't know that these were ever anything great.
Oh, that's who that is.
I really
We've
remember
got Neil Patrick Harris as Olaf.
Yeah, hopefully he does fine. I don't care.
And Patrick Warburton narrates.
It's on Netflix, so I'll watch it because I've already paid for
Yeah.
it, basically.
Is it a Netflix produced?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, so it should be at least okay.
Eh,
We didn't
I
even
don't know.
we didn't even talk about the best part of Hellboy 2, which is also the best part of every Guillermo del Toro project.
When it ended,
No, the
the monster
the
designs?
designs and the sets
Yeah, no.
and everything looks.
I mean, yeah, they were fucking great.
Everything looks fantastic the
I
whole
just-
time.
yeah.
Yeah. Like that big ass tree elemental fucker.
Yeah, absolutely. It bleeds.
dope
It
as hell.
bleeds grass, man, or sludge that turns into grass, or something like that.
fucking-
And
It bleeds
and then he
nature.
died,
Cool.
just like
Cool.
nature in real life.
Yeah, Danny DeVito. That's my pick for this year. Everybody's gonna have one.
Well, we'll figure it out eventually.
Do I get to have one?
Yes.
Me. I'm the next celebrity death.
Well, Thomas, you know what? That's like a double-edged sword, I guess.
I get a sudden rise to stardom. Probably like my
gonna go-
15 minutes of internet of like fame due to some internet meme, and then I fucking die immediately.
Alternatively, you could become the next serial shooter.
I think I'm gonna go with
Ooh.
William Dafoe. He's gonna die.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Willem.
is he as old as
He's
he
not-
looks?
He's only 60,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I got a bad feeling about him.
I've always had a bad feeling about him. Have you seen his face?
He's looked the same forever.
Yeah, he looked the same back in like
But in a
Platoon
bad
in
way.
1984 or whenever it was.
Yeah, no, like this picture on Wikipedia is from 2014, and he looks exactly like he did in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Or was that one?
Spider-Man
was one.
was like 2001 or something.
2002.
Oh. Oh shit, that was a long time ago.
How the hell do you
that
spell
was
William
like
Dafoe?
15 years. It's Willem
That would be
Dafoe.
why. That would be why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I said that twice now.
God, he looks fucking gross.
Yeah, he always looked gross though.
William was his father's name, apparently.
God, look at him with like a full mustache.
That's why they had him play Green Goblin, man. Sam Raimi knows what's up.
Yeah.
Sam Raimi's like, I'll just make
give me the
thing.
grossest fucker you can
Yeah,
find.
seriously. I don't know that he'd ever worked with him
Done.
before.
He's always licking his teeth in pictures, and I don't like it.
What is he in
He's
Justice
in
League?
pictures, and I don't like it.
What?
Yeah, he's in Justice
Like the-
League. That comes out
The
this
live
year. Hold
action
on.
one?
We got to find out what he is in Justice League because now I actually want to know.
Oh, man.
Let's just see what the last movie I saw him in was.
Probably nothing. You've never seen him
My
before.
Hindu friend? What? Oh, John Wick. What was he? He was
Wait, the old one or the new one?
the new one. I don't.
Well-
he was Marcus. I don't remember who the fuck that was.
Corey, if it's the new one, it hasn't come out yet.
No, 2014. Sorry, I didn't mean John Wick 2.
I don't. Yeah, you thought there was an older John Wick that nobody talks about?
Well, the one that's 2 years old now.
Don't bother looking at.
Apparently,
He plays.
he's apparently an Atlantean named Volko that gets killed in the comics.
Wow, that's dumb.
Yep.
Voidus Volko.
So he's basically not in it.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
He's also in
Or
that
not.
movie.
Who
He's also
knows?
in that Great Wall movie that no one's going to see.
I might.
Why would you though, Thomas?
I like historical fiction put with, like, fucking big old monsters.
Right, but it's not good.
I don't care.
Danny DeVito was in Reno 911.
I think it's Reno 9/11, Corey.
Fuck you and your 911s.
Yeah. What's that, Corey?
Yeah, I
Are you
wish
saying
Danny
that you don't
DeVito-
care about the victims of 9/11? Is that what I heard?
I wish Danny DeVito was in more things.
Yeah, everybody does. I think that's more or less a universal wish.
Like, I remember him in Matilda. He wasn't Danny DeVito though. He was just some guy.
And Twins is much better than I thought it would be.
Oh, man. If fucking Matilda, they had to, like, put him up on... They had to do, like, a bunch of camera tricks to make him taller than he is. Because he's so
Did
fucking
they?
short.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he was actually
because
Because
he was
didn't look
actually
like
in the
he was
movie, he's
tall
supposed
at
to be
all.
towering over Matilda.
Right.
He's like, I'm big, you're small.
Whereas in real life he was 6
I'm
inches
old, you're
shorter.
young.
Yeah.
All that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a tiny man.
That's
So they had to
true.
do camera tricks to make it work.
Like in
They
The
were
Hobbit.
committed to Danny DeVito.
So what we're saying is we need to watch a Danny DeVito movie next week.
Let's watch Matilda.
Ugh.
I've seen that
No.
like 70 times.
Well, then
I'll
we
watch it.
won't,
It's
then.
a good movie. I'll watch it.
We'll come up with something.
Oh man, he was in Space Jam. I keep forgetting about that.
Didn't we already watch Space Jam?
Oh,
though?
yeah, he was
Danny
the,
DeVito
he was
being
the
in
leader of
Space
the
Jam?
Monstars.
Yeah, he's the leader of the
He was our
monsters.
boss
He
man.
plays himself.
No, he doesn't. He's an animated
Ba-
alien.
He basically plays himself, but in animated
Danny
form.
DeVito doesn't run a theme park, Corey.
You don't know him.
He might have a
If-
secret
if-
space theme park that you don't know about.
If anyone has a secret space theme park, it would be Danny DeVito.
It would
Come
be
on.
Elon Musk. You shut the fuck up.
Elon Musk is a boring human.
Yeah.
It would be Danny DeVito.
What with his making cars better and the
Yeah,
super
he's
tech-
all
Hyperloops.
like, you know,
Going to
he's
space.
He does real things. Like Danny DeVito just seems like he just do things.
I'm
for
still
the
waiting
movies.
on the turn, man. Elon's gonna turn on us. It's gotta happen.
Of course
Is he
he
gonna
is.
go evil?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's always
Yeah.
been evil secretly. We just don't know it yet.
Have you seen the man? Look
Have
at
you seen
him.
his name?
He's the plot. He's the villain of any
Yeah.
Bond movie from like the '60s on. Not the new ones. Everybody's boring in the new ones. Like
Hey
the
man,
villains,
if we
but-
have to kill a third of the Earth's population to get to Mars, whatever.
it'll be you though, Thomas.
I don't care.
I don't know, man. Even as low as Thomas is, I feel like there's a lot more people below him.
Entire continent.
Depends on what classification system you're using. Yeah, you could call a third of the world's population using different metrics and avoid Thomas. That's easy, but
You could just go by, literacy or something.
yeah. Well, there's some obvious
Yeah,
problems.
Ability to
that's
use a
what you would
toilet.
go by, right? If they're illiterate, then
Yeah, but then you end up with a huge like a gender problem.
so.
What do you mean? So that's obvious. That's a pretty definitive problem, Corey.
That'll fix itself in like 50 years. It's not a real problem.
I'm just saying you could probably come up with better metrics if you had to.
Well, fine. You do literacy and then a few other things.
You just do literacy and then you just like Put more chemicals in the water to make more people.
So
gay, I
basically,
guess.
basically what I'm hearing from you is that you would like to kill all of Africa personally.
I didn't say that.
Not personally, or all of it. There are a couple good places in Africa.
Yeah. Name one.
What?
Name one.
I was gonna say.
I like
that, but now
Morocco.
You sound like a bad person. You've never been there.
I just didn't think Thomas had
What?
any in mind. Like, obviously, there's places in Africa that are fine, but I just didn't think Thomas would be able to name any. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
Morocco's fine.
I'm surprised you named a single country. Honestly,
You mean Africa isn't a country? No, yeah, man.
are you
Well,
sure?
speaking of Morocco world news, the U.S. bans all imported oranges from Morocco. So
What?
take that, Thomas.
What was it? What did you even just
The
say?
United States banned imports of Moroccan oranges. I don't know why he knows that or why he brought it up.
I just type
Okay.
in Morocco into Google. And
Why?
It tells me because
He
man,
had
that's
to.
what I do on
he
this
was,
show.
he was
He
making
didn't
sure
know
it
where
was in
Morocco
Af-
was,
Yeah, he
did
didn't
he?
know where it was.
Fuck you, Corey.
What?
We're a racist piece of shit, and I still know African geography better than you.
What? No, I just wanted to see what was going on in Morocco. I
Sure
don't know
you
what's
did.
going on there. Apparently nothing. Some Irish woman died in a bus crash. So that happened.
I mean, that's what they do.
People die in bus crashes. People like
That's
dying
what they
in
do.
bus crashes.
People,
It's like
that's what they do in Morocco. Die in bus
that's
crashes.
what they do everywhere, man. People always die in bus crashes
But how?
because there are no seatbelts and they just get thrown through the air.
What?
What do you mean? What?
There's no seatbelts, and there's like a metal bar in front of your fucking face.
Dude, the bus is just gonna plow through what's in front of it.
Unless what's in front of it is like a fucking hill or
Right,
something.
but no matter what, Corey, the sudden
Bus is
transfer.
gonna run into a
It doesn't
hill?
matter what the bus is running into; it's the transfer of momentum.
I understand. Fine.
Like it could run into a
Oh,
cat,
this
and
is-
if it came to a complete stop, you'd still get thrown through the air.
Oh, this is a big deal. 10 people died and 22 were injured. Doesn't tell me how. There's like 2 sentences on this.
A bus,
on this.
Well, it's
it
Morocco.
ran into a rhino or something. I don't know. something uniquely African. There's probably not even any rhinos in Morocco. There probably aren't.
Maybe
I don't
one
think there
escaped.
are, no.
No, I would. I don't know why there would be. It's like, I don't know. That's a pretty big place, actually. You know how it is.
Poor woman died. Now she's just another statistic.
There's the other way people die in buses, which is
Everybody's a
stabbed to
statistic,
death.
Corey.
What do they eat there?
in Morocco.
Food, Corey.
Like the same thing people
Yeah.
eat everywhere, Corey. They eat grains and they eat vegetables.
They have
Pizza?
They have McDonald's and Domino's
Obviously, yeah.
and Pizza Hut.
I mean, to be fair, there's like a Subway in every place in the world. There's so many Subways. They eat Subway, Corey. That's your answer.
Man,
Let's try countries
Oh,
without.
I wish-
I know
I wish
we should
we had a
should
Subway
really
here.
get started. We haven't
All
even
we
gotten,
have is a shitty bus system.
we haven't even gotten started on this podcast episode yet, and we're just talking about garbage.
it always makes me feel bad when I look at other cultures' food and then I look at ours and it's just like pizza and hamburgers. And this is like, vegetables and good stuff.
You know, people eat other
Well,
things in
Corey,
the
our
United States,
culture is
right?
basically the Borg. We just take all the good shit.
Both of you talked at the same time. I didn't hear either.
Well, I started talking
go ahead,
first.
Ben.
I'm better.
Go.
I said, people eat other things in the United States, right?
Like a lot.
I thought everything was just pizza.
Like there's very little that's uniquely American because we're essentially the Borg of cultures. We take what's good and we fucking just trash the rest of it.
I know, but you have those American restaurants. They just say American eatery or whatever. And it's pizza, hamburgers, and pasta.
Like
and
greasy
that's it.
food,
like
like hangover
good-
food. It's
the
got
fucking
they
good
got
food.
waffles. They got
It
basically
looks
a
like
Waffle
there's
House.
111 countries with subways.
wow,
out of how many
I
total?
don't know, close to 200.
like 140. I think.
No, I think it's close to 200, dude. But no, Corey, if you want to talk about the specifics of like what you would qualify as an American cultural food,
A dish.
sure. Like there are plenty of examples because honestly, we've engineered or adapted a lot of different things. Obviously, Tex-Mex is an obvious candidate because nothing like that really existed outside of the United States prior to its development. You also have most of Southern cooking. You have mid,
Like barbecue.
yeah,
and
there's a
stuff.
lot of examples of different preparation styles that just arose out of the necessity of eating things people otherwise didn't want to eat because slaves.
Like buffalo wings and shit.
Buffalo wings is actually a great example. That the wings were basically just being thrown away as garbage food because nobody wanted them, and then they started saucing them and frying them. I guess in Buffalo, New York. I've never actually checked. I assume they might have started in some other town and Buffalo co-opted them, but somebody will be real mad about that someday. that I said that.
Well, they can stay mad because it's a fucking piece of trivia that no one should really give that much of a shit about.
Exactly.
But like chicken tenders and hamburgers, that's what I think.
Yeah, there are definitively like people associate. I don't know where hamburgers started. You would assume Hamburg, just like you would assume buffalo chicken wings are from Buffalo. But yeah. They are, even if they were started somewhere else, they're associated so heavily with the United States that it's basically an American cultural icon at this point.
Because we do it the best, nerds.
Also, our version of pizza is nothing like an Italian version of pizza.
Yeah, I was literally there and had some.
Yeah, I mean,
theirs is much better.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, how much did you spend, Corey? That might be.
Corey said the food in Italy was cheap.
The food is cheap, dude.
Oh shit.
So like going to a restaurant and ordering what is probably here. A small pizza is probably like $7.
To be fair, Corey, you can
get
get better pizza than Papa John's in the United States.
I understand that. Bricks is good.
Bricks is still
New York pizza is good.
Okay. But there's different. The thing I've always come down on in pizza,
the style.
There's so many different ways of preparing pizza.
Yeah,
that it's like
you have that brick oven pizza, which is my favorite, and then you have your standard like just electric oven that most people use.
It looks like the first known thing regarding a hamburger meat in a sandwich form is in a article about a sandwich car in Chicago in 1896.
And we didn't even mention hot dogs. I feel like hot dogs are very American.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's just all the extra shit that they just wrap up and throw it at you.
That's just the Industrial Revolution turned into a food product. That's what that is.
Yeah. What makes the red one so good?
Probably cancer chemicals. Probably the same thing that addicts people to cigarettes.
Because those things aren't supposed to be red. They're
artificially colored red. Yeah, I understand that. They'd normally be like a grayish brown, like a regular hot dog.
They build the ketchup into the dog.
Well, they don't. They don't taste anything like ketchup. I don't know, Corey.
Yeah, I know.
They taste really salty.
Yeah,
it must
be the salt. Basically,
they're so salty.
Yeah, human taste basically breaks down into just a few categories, and we like certain ones of them a lot, like salt and sugar. And we're like, man, more salt that has the better, up to a point. Obviously, there's a threshold.
Yeah,
it's all about ratios. Don't just eat tablespoons of salt. I mean, do it if you want, but I wouldn't recommend it.
That's how you get high blood pressure and die.
Yeah. If you ate enough salt, could you cut yourself and have blood shoot out even faster?
No, you'd have a heart attack before that actually was noticeable.
I was just wondering, if you took a basal reading of how fast your blood sprays out of your arm when you cut yourself, and then ate a bunch of salt and saw if it changed it.
Isn't the
I don't know what blood pressure is. I'll just say it.
The saltine cracker challenge because there's too much, or does that have to do with it being dry?
I don't give a shit about
who
your
knows?
YouTube challenge.
Yeah, nobody knows why.
Cancer.
There's so many of them, though, Thomas.
I know, and they're all cancer.
Put a bunch of this food product in your mouth and then throw up. That's what every one of them boils down to.
7 million views.
Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, basically.
I wish I didn't care so I could get all these views.
No one would.
Man, that whole area of YouTube is the worst. I hate all of it. Like pranks and all that other stuff.
Yeah, at the same time that YouTube has given rise to a bunch of somebody's goddamn alarm.
Yeah, that was me.
Why do you have a 9:45 alarm, Thomas?
That's my 10-minute break at work.
Oh,
all right.
Okay.
It's skip work because it snowed day.
Yeah. Because it snowed 2 days ago day.
They just let you be like, okay.
Well, they didn't call me back, so I suppose yes.
You just did.
I left a message.
Oh, so then there was no one there.
Or they just didn't call back.
Why wouldn't they have answered the phone, though?
There was no one there.
Because the guy I'm supposed to call in to tell works the same shift that I do. So I'm basically just supposed to leave a message if I'm not coming in.
Okay. That's not super interesting for anybody.
Wait, how does it work? Do you just call in and say, hey, I ain't coming in today?
And I give a decent reason.
Oh, that's cool.
Whereas at Food Line, if they didn't show up, they just fire you and then hire somebody else.
I wish they fucking did.
They got a line of people just camping outside the store waiting to get the job.
There were people there who just wouldn't show up for 3 shifts in a row. But we couldn't fire them.
Fired.
Yeah, you would think so, but all of a sudden she's having a kid at 18 and you can't really fire her because now it'll be like a whole fucking lawsuit.
Now it's a lawsuit. Yep. Yeah.
She's not going to sue. She's having a kid at 18.
Well, absolutely.
You can find a lawyer.
Yeah, any lawyer will take that, man. Well, dirty scumbag lawyer. But point being, you
But
can make
do you
some money
think
on
she's
that.
going to go through the effort of doing that?
What else are you gonna do?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's
That's
free
true.
money.
She just got fired. Of course she's going to do it.
Yeah, it's
There's
free
nothing
money,
to do
man.
now.
We were talking like 2 podcasts ago about a man who was suing fucking McDonald's.
And here's the thing, Corey. I think there's already laws in place to protect people like that from being fired.
Yeah.
So like it's pretty well established. I think you'd get a pretty good lawyer and a good case
Yeah, no,
going.
I don't even think you have to like do anything, like and get an actual lawyer.
You probably
can
don't.
just
You probably just report
go
it.
talk to the like labor board.
Yeah, Labor, Better Business Bureau, whatever it is. I'm not a business.
It's the Board of Labor. Business Bureau is like a non-governmental thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's always been unclear which things are actually things.
It was essentially Yelp before the internet,
Wonderful.
We were going to talk
and
about
that includes
something.
all the shitty parts about
So
Yelp.
she didn't even call in though. She just didn't show up. Did
I
she
mean,
call in?
This is
I'm
it's not specific to any individual person. A bunch of people would just not show up
Oh,
because they're just pieces of shit.
I mean they're working at Food Lion, Thomas.
I mean, yeah.
Imagine Kmart. There would be no one in that fucking.
There's
store
nobody in
ever.
Kmart, Corey. That place is always empty. When was the last time you were in a Kmart?
The last time we were all in a Kmart.
Yeah,
So
it was-
like 3 years ago.
Yeah, about.
Remember we went to that Kmart that was going out of business?
Yeah, that's the one we're talking about, isn't it?
Places. I think we went to the one on Western once.
Yeah, we went to a
after
couple
that.
different ones. Mostly
A couple?
Yeah.
No,
No, we
I
went to
don't think
a total of 3.
I
don't
went to
know.
one that was going out of business to buy pegboard from them.
We bought a deep fryer, and it fucking wasn't it the one that didn't work at
Yeah.
all?
No, it didn't work. We didn't
We
have
bought
the
the
right plug.
floor model.
And then tried to return it at Walmart.
It was like, just do it, Corey. They won't know.
And they were like, "Well, but you can see by the tag that we don't sell this bullshit."
I took the tag off and I went up to the woman and I was like, "Yeah, my grandma bought
No,
this for
it
me
was
and it doesn't
it
work."
wasn't like the tag. It was like the barcode.
The barcode? Yeah, I
it
know.
was a different color than the one they used.
I remember we went to some far away.
I feel like we were
Walmart,
doing it
and
as a joke, but it was still kind of serious.
It was. Yeah, you're right. It was
It
like
was
a
like,
half
well,
thing.
we might
It
as
was like-
well.
It was like, I know this isn't gonna work, but we're here. So, because you just left the shit in your car, and so we tried to go in, and I told the woman like, "Yeah, it was a gift, and it doesn't work." And she said she got it here. I asked, "Can I get like store credit or something?" But she's like, "Yeah, you can't scan it. I don't know how much to give you." I was like,
And also,
maybe you should
this
talk
is a
to your
Kmart
grandma and
tag.
ask. Maybe I was just let go from that Kmart. So fuck you. I know. See what you're doing. Nah, dude.
You'll never guess how
would it
many
take to be-
subways are in the
what would-
United States since I still have this tab open.
Fucking
At least 3.
The same number of gas stations there
It's
are.
26,643.
Wow. That's like over 500 per state.
Yeah.
How did they grow so quickly?
Because they're made of garbage.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What just a reason.
Because they take like fucking 5 feet
'Cause it's-
to operate.
Because it's cheap and they employ like 4 people at the most at a time.
No, most subways only have one person.
He means at most. He means total. He means they have
Yeah.
4 shifts and there's one person
Oh.
per shift.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
I actually meant like there would be 4 people in the building at a time.
No, I don't. Think
I've never
so.
seen
I've
it.
seen
I've never
that.
seen a subway with 3 people in one.
I've seen that.
They're always
When and where.
The one by the food line I worked at around lunchtime.
Oh well, I guess 3 people come in for an hour and then they just 2 of them leave.
Yeah, basically.
We came up with a new name for this podcast. Does anybody remember what it was?
Movable poop
No,
house.
portable poop house.
Yeah.
I
Portable
put it in the
poop hut?
band names.
Portable
chat.
poop
Did
hut.
you? Oh,
That's what
it
it
was.
was.
Movable poop hut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine then. I was gonna have to go back and listen to this awful show and find out where we said it.
If you scroll all the way down on the dock, it says, "Don't let your memes get creamed."
I fucking hate you. Shut up.
Yeah,
Never talk to me again.
I mean, basically,
Did anybody actually
Oh,
want to
man.
talk about any of these topics today?
we've been playing Minecraft lately.
Oh yeah.
I don't know,
I was,
actually, you know what? I don't know if I want to talk about that.
Well, why not? Fuck it. We already started. We because of the podcast like a couple times ago where we were talking with Steven about my autism and the Minecraft Realms thing I set up. I just got the itch to play Minecraft again, so I was messaging these fuckers and was like, "Hey, if I bought Minecraft Realms subscription again, would you guys be down to play?" And yes, so I started loading up Minecraft, and it took like about 2 days for things to devolve into just rampant, just awful.
I'll explain how it happened. So it started off like normal. You're digging. Thomas building a house. Thomas has been exploring the map, just filling out the maps, and he finds an island with villagers. So the first thing that we do is we fucking take cows all the way across the ocean.
Yeah, you can put like an individual cow in your boat and like bring it back. So we did that first off because we didn't have any cows.
Yeah, so we imported some cows and we fenced them in. And then we did the same with sheep, and then Thomas spends like hours, hours, bringing back one of the villagers, and then fences him in.
Yeah,
and then from there he's like, "Fuck it," and he starts killing the villagers. And
because I wanted to spawn in a second one that, like the one I had, would trade paper for an emerald. I wanted one that I could spend the emeralds with.
Yeah,
but that was before I realized. Oh wait, you can just click this little right arrow and buy more stuff from them.
We wanted to make an enchanting area with bookshelves and shit, so that was the goal. And then once we were gathering the items, we were like, all right, let's make a library over here. And then what? How did it turn into Hitler?
I started looking.
How did it turn into Hitler?
I ended up.
God damn it.
I'm
glad I haven't even been participating in this garbage.
I made a shield, okay? And the shield, when I was looking at the wiki page for shield to find the recipe for it, I found that you can apply banners to them. And then I found immediately afterward recipes for Nazi banners, and I was like, oh god. We could just go full Reich with this.
And
we ended up building like this big Capitol building with like a glass dome on top.
Yeah.
For the capital of the Fuhn Reich.
I'm not gonna say that. Yeah.
And they're like just like we developed Nazi flags. We have some skeleton horses that we've trapped for Hitler's ghost cavalry. And just a bunch of stuff.
Man,
we trapped a Jew, man. So
I was just trying to build a house in the sky.
No, you were ruining everything.
In the sky, and all this is going on.
Ben initially started out just ruining everything, which is actually kind of fitting because we've got like all these Nazi buildings down there now, and Ben is literally the man in the high castle.
Hey, first of all, you want to talk about the sign you put on my house, Thomas?
Oh
you have the balls to say that on here?
Okay, all right.
I'll just say that every curse word except the N-word has lost its edge. That's all I'll say about it.
Well, I haven't played Minecraft actually played like this in a long time, since the 360 version. So that's a long ass time ago.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of new shit even for me, and I played it more recently than that.
And I had forgotten my character skin was Hitler. So that was a fun.
Yeah.
That probably contributed to it.
Oh no,
so
that definitely helped. That was
Thomas...
one of the screen caps I took for the lobby of the Capitol building, where we made a swastika out of wool for the floor.
Oh my god, this podcast is terrible.
It sure is, guys. It sure is.
Yep.
I'm glad I isolated myself way over here on the other side of the world.
I mean,
so if there
we're literally
was
on
no...
one island.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have to live on the islands, Thomas. If we left the islands, it would be blasphemy.
Yeah.
So if there was no Minecraft or no internet, what would you do instead?
Offline games.
Yeah, single player games. But I'd have to go out and buy them, so I definitely would have a lot less.
Obviously, yeah. Buying things in person
sucks.
There's always books.
Yeah, books exist. Comic books.
Here's the thing,
but then I'd have to spend money on comic books, so that I wouldn't have that many. I probably wouldn't have any at all.
I think generally things would be much better.
Probably. I think they might be. I think they actually might be, just because...
Maybe not for everyone as a whole.
No, collectively things would be probably worse, but I feel like individually we might be a little bit better off.
Yeah, for us it'd probably be better. Certainly for Thomas.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely for Thomas. I'm not sure about the rest of us, but definitely for Thomas. Here's the thing. It
forced me to be a normal human being.
Yeah. Having a reliable internet connection is something that I can just... that's not even all that long ago that I didn't have one of those. That was 2009 or 10-ish. So before then, we had basically nothing. You could load a Flash game, but it would take 10, 20 minutes at a time, so it was never worth it. We couldn't play RuneScape on the internet connection we had before then. I remember trying.
That's rough.
I remember trying in middle school, and it wasn't good enough for that. So prior to that point in time, it was just more or less no internet. So I was like, yeah, that's not that bad. I remember that. It was fine.
I often think back, and I wonder what I was doing when there was dial-up. During...
Well, I mean, you were also a child at the time, or a teenager.
But I mean, children now just fucking watch YouTube videos.
Well, you just watch garbage on TV. It's not any different. You watch Jackie Chan Adventures, and
I wasn't watching Jackie Chan Adventures. Walker Texas Ranger was on, you bastard.
that's really the same thing when you think about it.
No, it's not. Not at all. It's entirely different.
Yeah,
I'll have you
one
know.
of them is good, and the other one's
Although
Walker,
there are
Texas
several
Ranger.
similarities in the plot, there are different things going on throughout.
Yeah, one of them is about like dragons and magic and shit.
And the other one is Jackie Chan Adventures.
Nice. Yeah.
Corey, you know what the Golden Army reminded me of? What they looked like? Because they looked rather specifically like a certain thing.
Torchlight.
No.
The Dwemer from Skyrim.
Well, yeah,
Like
it did
the
actually. They did
machinery.
look quite a bit like that. They had a lot.
There are those exact same things in Torchlight in like the last area.
The answer, Corey, is Gear Golem: The Moving Fortress.
Just fucking fine. That whole archetype is.
I
dumb.
didn't even know it was an archetype.
It was.
I only brought it up
who
to
was
make
that,
Thomas mad, and he doesn't even know he should be mad yet.
That one
No, I knew.
fucker.
I'm just
What's his name?
silent
Crowler.
rage.
What's his name? Crowler.
I have no idea.
Crowler. He was that fucking awful looking clown man.
Who?
Let me find out. He was in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Absolutely Crowler. He was the only one in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows to use the ancient Gear Golem archetype.
Yeah. Okay. I was hoping I could
Just
get something out
terrible.
of Thomas, but nah, we're dead. We're dead on
No.
that. He's over
He's
it.
used to
He's
it now.
over it.
He accepts that he knows far too much about Yu-Gi-Oh! Than he should.
He knows more than most fans now.
Yeah.
I've just gotten to the point of, like, I've gone past anger and into depression. That's where I've gone. It's a different stage.
I think that what I'd be doing is like, it seems like since college ended, I haven't been as much in internet active as I was.
Other
I
than
guess 'cause
media
I haven't-
consumption.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I don't like watch TV shows that much anymore, and you know.
Yeah, but you're on Overwatch a lot.
I don't know about a lot. It's nothing compared to Gears.
That's true. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'd probably just be doing more of what I do now, you know.
But you were
Probably
just wondering what
play
you
more.
did before, and you're kind of answering your own
Yeah.
question right now. Although not
I mean,
specifically.
I guess I was like playing basketball, going to the gym. I played a lot in the forest, I think, and burn stuff. Which is no surprise to anyone, I don't
It's just
think.
burning
Just
things
know me.
randomly in the woods, like a normal
mean-
child.
Yeah, and digging holes in the ground.
Standard.
I was a mound builder. And I am a mound builder again. No, I actually removed mounds in Minecraft. But yeah.
You should be building mounds.
I think it'd be cool to try out. Like when I was in Italy and I didn't have internet for a week, it was nice. Because I would just go out and walk around.
I still can't believe you went to Italy with no money and no phone charger.
I mean, I eventually got money, but I didn't have a phone charger. I just didn't have a phone for the... I just turned it on for like 5 minutes a day, and it was a good experience. It kind of sucked, but you know, I'm glad I did it because I forced myself to like go walk around outside and stuff.
I guess that might be the way to do it.
Yeah,
But-
I mean, if you're in a foreign country like that, you might as well.
Yeah.
I
Rather
think
than just sitting inside.
if I didn't have internet, I'd spend a lot more time camping than I currently do.
More than none? I would think so. It's not
I
hard.
spend time camping.
Would you go like camping just like for the weekend or something?
I
Do
mean,
people
yeah,
do that?
probably.
Yeah.
Can you camp in Japan? I assume you can.
I mean, yeah, probably.
I don't know anything about that, but that
I
seems
mean,
like...
me either. I don't know about their state, their national.
I assume that
parks
they
or
have a
anything.
system of it, and that like tourism is a feature that they take into account. I've just never heard of it. I've never heard of anybody going to Japan and camping.
Well,
That's because people who travel to Japan go there for the anime.
here's this PDF.
That's not even the real. That's not really even true, Corey. Like, sure, I'm sure that's part of it, but there's a lot of people that go. There's a lot of people that go to Japan that have never watched anime in their life.
I want to go to Japan because of the sushi and food.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's a good reason. That's a significant reason of percentage of the reasons people actually travel.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
food. Ah, yeah, absolutely, that's true.
Like,
I mean, I don't really care.
I
about,
wouldn't
like,
list it as like it's not the reason that you're going, but it's absolutely like a feature that is.
But what else do you do in Japan?
Well, I imagine that
You sightsee.
You go sightseeing.
Learn about the culture, man.
The culture is just terrible.
You go visit that
I
temple
know
with
it.
all the deer that
I
bow
mean,
to
apart
you.
from the rape of Nanking, they're pretty cool.
Oh. there was 100 years or so there where things weren't great.
Yeah.
But it's been a civilization for a long time. So other than
they've
that,
got a better track record than we do, percentage-wise.
well, yeah,
Dude, by the time I go to Japan, they're gonna have those waifu things in shops.
you could
Well,
stay.
yeah,
you could stay at a robot hotel. Just wait long enough.
I don't want to do that.
The receptionist will be a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it'll be fun.
Yeah, only if it's a dinosaur. I'll
Well,
do
that's
it.
the first
But if
one that
it's
they
like-
made was a dinosaur.
I know that. I saw that, and it didn't work well.
Well, obviously it didn't work well. The first
Guests
version
were
of everything
complaining
doesn't.
to it, and it's just a fucking robot. It doesn't care about
Says
you.
I'm a dinosaur. We didn't anticipate anyone would have any complaints when our robot staff are dinosaurs.
Apparently there's this thing in Japan called urban camping.
Yeah, it's called being homeless.
No, there's like the Wikipedia article has a picture of like some fucker in a tent inside of like a playground.
Yeah, homeless
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Yeah, homeless people in tents.
Nah, man, people do that in my apartment complex. The children, though.
Oh.
Okay.
Like there's like a little.
I was
going
gonna
to
say, Corey, why would anybody be visiting your apartment complex?
No, like the kids who live here. Every once in a while, I'll walk by and there'll just be like some tents set up in the dog park, and I'll just be there. Hey, man, that's a thing people do. Like there were
yeah,
commercials for it or whatever. They go camping in their backyard.
Yeah, obviously, people.
The Wikipedia page on this is saying, yeah, they have like a bunch of homeless people that sleep in the park, so they don't really give a shit.
Thomas, yeah, urban camping's a thing. I guess you can camp in places, although generally it is a crime.
Apparently Japan has like this whole thing about like just people sleeping in relatively public places that they just is basically a part of their lives.
I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound.
Yeah,
fun.
no, people like sleeping in train stations and shit.
I assume that people
Yeah,
just
fuck
pass
that.
out all the time in Japan from being overworked.
I mean, that's probably what it is.
You just can't make it home. I'll just sleep.
Well,
here.
yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, you don't have time to make it home.
Gotta
I mean,
be
it's
one
like
of
a
the
thing
3
like
hours
people just
anyways.
like working overtime and then going to sleep at work.
Yeah.
God, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen here, does it?
Sure it does.
I mean, it does for some people, but I imagine not many.
God. Yeah, I don't think I could fall asleep like in a public place like that. Like, I remember, like in high school or whatever, you sleep in class.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't really asleep, Like I don't think I could go into like REM sleep
No,
in
yeah,
a
it
public
would be like that
place.
light half sleep.
To be fair, it
Yeah.
takes like 2 hours to get into REM sleep, though.
But I mean, I'm saying even if I was in a fucking alley, just there, I don't think I could.
I don't think I could fall
be there
asleep in
for
an
a-
alley either, Corey. I might be a little bit concerned about the setting.
Whatever, man. Inside of one of those playground.
What I never
Dude.
got was those people that fall asleep in the library on campuses, which is apparently,
Those are the Indian.
dude, it's
kids, man, and they
everybody.
stink up
Everybody
those
does that
rooms.
though. Like at least it on the main. But that's the thing. Like that's just an accepted part of like a college campus is that people are sleeping in like classrooms and sleeping in libraries, and I'm just like, well, why though?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
The only explanation is
At
I don't
all.
want. I maybe don't live on campus.
Unless you're pulling an all night.
Yeah.
But you're
You're
not,
not.
because you're going to sleep.
People
So-
that live on campus and would go fall asleep at the library between classes. I'm just like, why?
I mean, I never understood like people going in and just like studying for 20 hours. I never got that.
I can't.
I would make it an hour in and then just fucking
No,
be
yeah,
done.
it's not even a very efficient way to study.
It also, yeah,
it
it isn't even a good way to do it.
And I mean, you guys, I don't think, did you guys study with groups?
No,
No.
Studying in group is the worst
I
thing.
did it one
You'll be there
time.
You'll be there for 5 hours and get like 20 minutes of work
Yeah.
done.
Especially because
And then-
everybody's just on their phone the entire time.
Especially if you know the people, nothing fucking gets done. Either you sit there or you complain or you just chat or nothing fucking gets done.
I'm super glad I'm done with that.
Yeah, maybe that's just because your groups never had like a team mom or team dad or anything who was like, "No, we got to do
Yeah,
this
we
shit."
we were all just a bunch of autists.
Yeah.
I mean, are you glad that it's over, Ben? It was fucking super easy. Even, I wouldn't say for me it was super easy, but it certainly wasn't that hard.
Just
And I had a shitload of free time. I could just basically sleep the whole day.
No, yeah, that's the thing I miss most about college is just the free time that I probably didn't actually have.
Well, I mean, depends, dude. If you got through it, which
Yeah.
Yep.
you know.
Sure remember this.
But I mean, you were trying though. You were trying
It's a
though.
technology
Yeah.
podcast, you guys.
I remember
gives a shit?
coming home and you were actually trying to do like physics and stuff. So I'll
That's
give you
because
that.
it was fucking hard.
Yeah, I
Fucking
was
wave formulas and shit. What the hell?
You need to find a group,
Like
man.
at
That's how you
some
get
point,
through it.
at some point, they just like, okay, you've read this entire textbook that we require for this class, and that was at the beginning of the class, and I was just like, well, shit. I know I'm not.
Did you do your pre-reading over summer break? God,
there
fuck
wasn't
that.
for that, but
Yeah.
apparently there was. I don't fucking know.
They did that for AP classes in high school. Technology, everyone. It's a great thing.
You see that triple screen set like 22-inch laptop?
God, that's the dumbest thing I've seen.
Why don't we-
Oh man.
Oh, so CES happened. So that's what he's talking
Yeah.
about. And
Yeah,
who was
it's
I don't
from
remember.
Razer.
Razer? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. The Razer came out with their
It's
gaming
called-
laptop has 3 screens.
Yeah, it's their Project Valerie. I mean, it's a concept. It's not like a readily buyable thing. Oh, apparently somebody stole it.
What?
Yeah, last week Razer debuted Project Valerie. On Sunday, 2 prototype models were stolen from Razer's booth at CES 2017. The company is offering $25,000 for information, leading to the arrest and conviction of those responsible.
How would you steal something that
Jesus.
big without somebody noticing?
It only weighs 12 pounds.
Hey man, that's what makes it the perfect crime bed. Nobody will suspect.
Honestly, if you just walk up and pick it up with confidence, nobody's going to do anything.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
goodness.
I mean, everyone at CES has one of those badges, right? So you just flip it over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work at this booth, and I gotta go charge it, or take it into the back. It's broken because it's a piece of
Yeah,
garbage.
just-
Yeah,
You-
the ones
yeah.
at the electronics show were fully functional, so they just took probably like $10,000 fucking computer.
I mean, it's not even that hard to make. It's just a gaming laptop with more screens.
I mean, yeah, but the screens fold out, Corey, and it's got an
So?
RGB backlit mechanical keyboard.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and like there's like a touchpad to the right of the keyboard, which you can like take out and then flip over to turn it into a numpad.
Laptops already fold screens, Thomas.
Yeah, I know, but
They
this
just
has
made
like
it on the
this
vertical
has 2
axis.
more folds, Corey.
Okay. So they just installed more folds, and all of a sudden it's complicated.
Corey, you
now.
don't just install more folds. What?
That's exactly
Sure
what
you do, Thomas. You just go to the hardware store and buy a hinge and screw it in.
Exactly.
Real life isn't Minecraft. You don't just throw pieces
Thomas,
at a workbench and
Thomas,
they poof in
if
together.
you look at closer pictures of this laptop, it's literally made of hinges.
Most things are made of hinges, Corey.
Most things are not made of hinges, Thomas. In fact, I would
Fine,
say
a lot of
virtually
things, then.
none.
Fucking Christ, whatever.
In fact, most things aren't made
Almost
of
nothing is made
I
of
mean,
hinges.
if you want to get
really.
really conceptual about what a hinge is.
Oh, by the way, it's curved screens, Thomas.
Oh, is this one also curved screens?
Curved screens. The one in the middle is a curved screen.
Oh no. God damn it.
Why don't they just install a projector into it?
Because projectors are ass just by the nature of light.
Well, they just make it good.
No, it's literally a physics issue. Like it can't be
Well.
solved without changing like the fundamental laws of the universe.
So you just get on it then, man. We're gonna have to get around to that eventually, so might as well get started now.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but it's a hard problem. I don't want to deal with hard problems.
That's why you wait for somebody smarter.
You know,
to
it's
deal
an
with
easy
it.
problem: stealing a laptop from CES.
That's what Razer did. Razer said, I guarantee you, maybe they thought of putting a projector in it, but they were like, nah, that's too much work. Just
And honestly, you could fucking
throw
just
some
buy a
hinges on the
projector
bitch.
for like 1/10 of the cost of this.
Projectors are expensive, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. This thing's much more expensive.
You don't know. It doesn't have a price.
I think we can
Yeah,
assume it's
exactly.
pretty expensive.
It probably just $5,000.
I doubt.
It's a prototype,
Unless it
man. It's
has,
not even
like-
in production. It's stealing it. They'll
Unless
probably
it
say
has,
it's
like,
worth
dual-
$25,000 or something, or more. Like it's a prototype.
What do you do with it?
I guess
you've
you
stolen this thing. What do
you
do?
either
Use
keep it and use it, or you try and sell it and get caught.
I mean, they sell laptops that cost almost $5,000. So I imagine this is probably even more expensive.
Yeah, that 18-pound one. Did you guys see that picture that I put?
Stop
That
talking
woman
about that
holding the
goddamn. We've
18?
talked about it 7 times.
That's a different one.
They're all the
That's a
same
different
thing,
one.
though.
That one has
This one
like
also
dual...
has a curved screen and mechanical keyboard.
That one has dual 1080s and 2 power supplies.
Apparently, no. I was looking at info about that. They did a benchmark test on it. It never hit 80 degrees. Because of all the fucking fans they put in the thing. They overkilled it with fans.
Yeah.
I wish my computer never hit 80 degrees. As it is.
You don't even know.
Dude,
But the thing costs fucking $9,000.
That's true.
You know what kind of desktop you can build for $9,000?
Like, it would
Like
just
9
be
of
made
them.
out of gold.
It's just fucking like just a server
Yeah.
rack. It'd be one of Thomas's things that he assembles. And have one of those Xeon processors.
I mean,
that
I
are
just have like
fucking-
a regular computer, but with like 10 graphics cards and a whole bunch of monitors.
But, what would you do with it?
I don't know. That's a different problem, isn't it?
Once you get past 3, it's just useless.
That's your opinion, man.
It's a fact, Thomas.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
it's
like.
not.
What are you gonna do?
What are you going to do with the 4th monitor?
Yeah,
I don't. All right. Okay, so we'll have.
Have Cookie Clicker running?
he already completely beat Cookie Clicker.
Yeah, no, I did all the achievements on Cookie Clicker. I never need to go back to that. I finished it up. My autism is complete for that one. But
Jesus Christ.
yeah. Shit. What was I saying? Okay, the 4 screens. You'd have whatever you're actually working on in the second screen. You'd have a reference on the first screen. I'm going left to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Third screen would have a second reference. Fourth screen would have Pandora or something to listen to or watch.
I
I don't know, man. I can put 2 references on one of these monitors. Plus, you got to
Yeah,
kind of
but now
look
you
far.
cannot do that.
You got to look kind of far. Like, you got to move your head too much.
Well, that's not necessarily true. Depends on your setup, doesn't it?
But why would you want to go...
You can have like a standard 3 monitor setup, but with like a second one above the middle one.
Then I have to look up, and that's just awkward, dude. I don't like looking
Not unless
up.
you have a reclining chair.
Like, I was in... like, I was in the dentist's office today, and they got one of those TVs in the ceiling, and it felt weird. You know?
Yeah, I get you. But I mean, it also probably just felt weird because you were in the fucking dentist office.
Yeah. I don't
The
like
entire
being there.
experience is weird. You've got these clamps holding your mouth open, and some person just fiddling about in there with a metal tool and a drill.
No one...
Thomas, what
No.
clamps are holding your mouth open at the dentist?
Did you have to get your like, crowns or some shit?
I had a root canal.
Oh, God.
You had a
Isn't
root
that a
canal?
serious thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not recent. Like maybe a year ago.
Isn't that
Isn't that when
serious
like the
thing?
bottom of your tooth is rotting?
Okay, he doesn't even know.
He doesn't even know. You
Maybe
should
I used
probably-
the wrong word.
Yeah, probably.
Wisdom tooth. Thing.
Oh.
That's
that's-
entirely different.
Okay.
Root canal is like, oh man.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, Ben. It's when the fucking root of your tooth is fucking
Yeah.
rotting. God damn, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that's awful. Like,
I mean,
I don't want to see
although
pictures of
technically
that. I
they
did not
do
mean
a
to
root
click that.
canal when they when they get rid of the wisdom.
yes,
tooth,
they
so
do a similar process, but for entirely different reasons. One is
it's
you
still
have an
called
extra.
a root canal treatment.
It's called having your wisdom teeth removed colloquially, though. Like when somebody says,
Yeah.
"I had a root canal," I think almost everyone assumes
Oh, yeah.
that they had a rotted tooth pulled from their mouth or
No,
dug
yeah,
out or
you're right.
whatever
You're
it
right.
is.
It sends a different message, but it's a similar process.
Sure, I can understand that it being a similar process. There's similar processes for a lot of things, like
Yeah.
going
Man,
into
being a
space and
dentist
creating an
is
artificial
easy.
heart. Same thing, apparently. So, you know,
Corey says being
We
a
still
dentist
need
is
to
easy.
differentiate
Why aren't you
between-
doing
You
it then? Because it's so much money, Corey.
It's like, because I don't want to be in people's mouths.
yeah, I don't either.
That's
It
nasty,
seems
dude.
like a lot of work.
I mean, like, see if there's a
You
problem.
have to pay them like
just fucking-
$70.
You just rip the tooth out and start over.
have
It's
to
like
find
it's
a
like
dumpster to
being in
hide
IT.
behind.
You just fucking reinstall OS and start over.
Man, being a dentist used to be mad easy. Used to be the easiest.
Yeah.
It was just the guy in town that owned some
Fucking,
pliers.
here's some whiskey. I've got my pliers. Let's go.
That's awful, though. I don't want to. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
but that's what it was until like 100 years ago. Probably,
Yeah.
maybe even more recently than that. Who knows?
The only downside is that nobody in town likes you that much.
Well, obviously, nobody likes the dentist. That's why you
No
have
one
a
likes
traveling
anyone
dentist that's actually
anyways.
an assassin or a bounty hunter or whatever it was in Django Unchained.
Oh yeah.
They're cool cool perks of living in the past.
Very few, though.
But most of it,
Like
most
the
of
polio.
it's terrible.
It's almost all downsides, though.
Yeah, you're right.
You're right. It's almost like this thing called progress is happening.
Like, even if
No
everything
comments.
else was the same, it would still smell.
I mean, wouldn't you get used to it though?
I guess you would get used to it, but like, it would still.
Because I mean, people weren't just like screaming about how terrible everything smelled all the time in the past.
That's because they didn't know any
So-
better.
Yeah, so they got used to it basically.
Well, no, they didn't necessarily get used to it. It just stopped smelling as bad.
What?
Like, the threshold got lowered, Thomas. It's not a complicated idea. Like,
Yeah,
if you
that's
lived
because
literally
the
in a
threshold was high
sewer.
because they got used to it.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying. But we're saying the exact same thing, just backing and
Yeah.
forth at each other.
Yeah, no, that's why I was stopping. I was trying to figure out what the fucking difference was.
I don't know.
So, if you speaking more of CES, there's a concept car for millennials that takes selfies.
Because
that
people
sounds
don't
like fucking cancer,
because people
doesn't it?
don't understand how people actually purchase products.
It's the last link in the technology section, and I like how this article starts off by saying, "What do millennials want from a car? Selfies, naturally." I don't
course.
what. So it just has a camera in the car.
Thomas, I think I found
And
the qualifier for culling a third of the population.
Ben, we're millennials.
No, I mean if you bought a selfie, never mind.
I mean, that wouldn't be a third of the population.
I know, but it would certainly be on the list, man.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
They'd be-
it's not like you would seek
They'd be
out
at the top of the group to get cut.
But no,
not like
here's
you
the
would-
thing: nobody would ever buy
my
that because of that feature.
Yeah,
Ever.
you wouldn't go through and there'd be a filter option that would said able to take selfies or whatever. That person should get killed, yeah. And they probably will because they'll be fucking taking photos while driving. Like, why would this be a good idea?
I assume that this isn't
And
a car
also-
that even lets you drive anymore. Like it's got to be tied in, right?
I don't like how like future cars look so fucking ugly.
Like what?
Are you looking at this?
Obviously
the
not.
article.
It looks ugly as fuck.
Yeah, it
Well,
looks
click
like-
on it.
It looks like Tron shat out a Scion XA. And not like Tron Legacy, like the old Tron. Like Tron 1.
Tron. It was called Tron,
Yeah, I know, but I'm being specific.
It is a self-driving car. though.
obviously. Wow, this
I
car
mean-
looks like garbage.
Does it
Yeah,
actually
right?
exist? Because I know it's a concept car, but
No, I don't think it does.
Well, these are all renders, so probably not.
yeah.
Like that car that has a jet engine, man. Those cars look dank. I want cars like that again.
but there's
Got
lot.
plug-in ports for the mobile devices belonging to every passenger in the car.
I guess there are
Yeah,
certain.
that's an okay feature.
Yeah, there are certain.
There's-
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a portion of this article that says it's great for people who want to take road trips, and then somewhere in the same article it says that this car only lasts like 250 miles.
Yeah,
I mean,
electric cars
that's
generally.
not a terrible road trip.
Well, I mean, it's just stupid that it says, yeah, this is great for road trips. and
I don't
stuff,
think
and
most
then it
people's
only
idea of
can
a
go
road
200
trip is
miles.
necessarily driving across the country, Corey. I think that might be rather specific.
250 miles is 3 hours.
Yeah,
dude.
it is. But I mean,
That's not a road
that's still pretty good for an electric car currently, though. Like they just don't
I
have that much
understand,
range.
but I'm saying that's not a road trip.
I mean, to be fair, my car needs to get gas every 300 miles.
yeah, but
Or
that's not a road trip.
330. I don't know, but it depends on how long it takes.
500.
Depends on how long it takes to charge. I guess is what it comes down to.
20 minutes of fast charging can get it to go 150 miles. So for the amount of time you spend at the gas tank, it would be spending 40 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
So-
no, that's terrible.
that's pretty bad.
Yeah,
That's
that is
pretty bad.
Unless the charging stations would be everywhere, in which you would just go to McDonald's or something
Yeah.
and eat.
You would if
But
you
that's-
stopped.
that'll
I mean,
be
if there's a
fucking
fucking place with the
decade.
charging station, they're going to have something to eat too, because they're not cheaping out.
And
That's true.
like
Like,
okay,
why would, if you're going to like give renovations to your fucking gas station, are you going to go with build-in restaurant or build-in charging station first? You're going to do the restaurant first and then the charging station after.
well, presumably,
Yeah, that's what I'm-
Thomas,
yeah,
the
that's what I'm
charging
saying.
stations will increasingly become a necessity for a gas station to remain in business.
Yeah.
Electric car adoption will speed up.
But then you'd have a whole bunch of these charging stations and people sitting there for like 40 minutes,
And here's the thing.
and that's
Yeah,
fast.
it's probably 40. I would assume it would be 40 minutes for like a full charge, but it might be even longer.
No, yeah, this is 150 miles. That's at using the fast charging.
Right.
That's not even its full distance.
Yeah, because it always
So
takes
if you
longer
wanted to fill
do
it all the way
yeah.
up
It would-
to the 300-mile threshold,
or
it
the
would probably
250
be
mile
even
threshold.
longer.
It's absolutely. They shouldn't
sorry.
even talk about road trips because that's. If we
That's
had to
ass.
charge every 250 miles and fucking sit there for 40 minutes, we wouldn't have
Yeah,
made it.
no.
You need to pop in the gas for 2
Like,
seconds.
yeah, I
go to the
get
bathroom
it,
and
you
go
know,
Just
back.
change out batteries.
It's the difference between stopping for
Jesus.
like 5 to 7 minutes versus stopping for 20 minutes. But you would have to stop for 20 minutes twice as frequently, I guess, because of the distances.
Look, it has interior LED lights that can change color, guys.
Why would you want that?
I'm glad this is going back to like last week.
I assume
or
any
whatever,
charge
where we
that you're
were
drawing
talking
from the
about-
car also reduces its potential distance that it can travel on a charge. So once you start
Probably,
once
yeah.
you
So
it would have a different capacity.
Are you talking
a
about
different
if you're charging your phone?
well, if you're charging
I
your
think-
phone,
I imagine there would be a different battery for the fucking LED lights than to move the fucking 1-ton machine.
well, why would it draw on a different power source? I get.
Fucking because it just requires a massively different load.
All right, okay, sure. Like I said, I don't know electrical engineering at all. That's Corey's department.
I don't know why you would use another battery. I think you would have one power source, but just like different circuits. That makes sense. But having two batteries, I don't know. That doesn't. There's probably more than one battery in this car.
I mean, I
Like,
think
don't electric cars have more than one?
Yeah,
battery,
I
or is
assume
it
so.
one?
They have like multiple battery cells at least.
Yeah, they have cells. Okay.
See, I'm thinking more like kind of just sort of got an alternator that's powering all the like extraneous bullshit.
I don't know.
If it's like electric car and self-driving, you might as well just put like a bicycle wheel thing in it and just
Yeah, might as well have somebody pedaling.
pretend.
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Right? That'd be cool.
That would be kind of
No.
cool. If you're riding a bike
As an
while the car is
option,
taking
I'd
you
like
places, sure.
I understand it provides like almost no power at all.
Maybe
but it's
maybe
kinda
not like a
neat.
car, but I could see a bus service like that. A bus service full of
Yeah.
of exercise bikes, and you just pedal
Oh
while
yeah,
you're
no,
going.
that already exists.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, they
the
have
thing.
that beer.
Yeah,
thing
those.
that
Yeah, they have those
goes
in
the
Raleigh.
city.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean they're dumb as hell, but
Seems massively dangerous.
I mean people
bunch of
aren't even going
drunk
to own
people-
cars anymore, Corey. That's going to go away, at least
What do you mean?
long term.
Automated cars and Uber, Corey. You just put the two ideas together. All of a sudden, people are renting out their cars, and the cars are driving themselves.
Obviously-
and the car is just farming money for you, and other people are paying for it.
Obviously, like car culture in the United States is a huge factor that'll at least slow, if not entirely halt that adoption process for a lot of people. But in other countries,
Like me.
and certainly in urban areas in the United States and in other countries, cars are already a problem. And if you just reduce it to a communal pool of automated cars that deliver you to places, then nobody would own a car in those settings. Like, and not only that,
talking-
it would become increasingly expensive as they tax it more and more to own your own car in a city.
I was talking to someone who moved from New York City down to here to Fairfax.
Yeah.
And she said she likes this area because it seems slow paced and it's a small town when it's like the fucking busiest place I've ever lived.
Well, yeah, but
fucking
when you compare it to
nuts.
the
I
busiest it
understand when you-
can
it's just-
possibly be, when you start
Yeah,
when your standard is the highest it can be, obviously anything is lower.
Every time I talk to like anyone new and they're like, "Where are you from?" and I say North Carolina, they always tell me how everyone's moving down to North
Yeah.
Carolina. No one's coming up.
Well, why would they?
So, yeah,
That's
exactly.
because we got the fucking cheapest shit cost of living
Yeah,
down here, man.
there's obviously an appeal of living in a major urban area, like as famous area like New York, obviously. So there are always people moving there, but similarly, there's always people leaving because it's necessary.
I always think it's cool to have like everything in one place. That's nice. Like,
Sure.
having the grocery store right there, but at the same time, I don't like people being around. I know. we've
Why
talked
can't we
about it,
just
but,
live
like,
in our own little bubbles with all the businesses
Like-
we need right next
like
to us?
the Apex Holly Springs area is nice because it's like everything's close by, but at the same time, you're away from people, kind of.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I want the immediacy of an urban center with no one near me. Go away, please. Leave me alone. It's the paradox.
And fucking, why do these cars look like fucking these like minivan things?
I don't know.
man?
I'm sure there are people that are. I don't know why you would design a car that looks that way specifically. Here's the thing. There's been a whole decade or more where car designs look like garbage before. Like, to me, almost all
Yeah.
the cars from the 80s look like garbage.
No, like the 90s weren't great.
No, it's like
The 80s were
mid
alright.
80s to mid 90s. I think is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For some reason,
That's the station wagon.
yeah,
era,
I don't know,
right?
like even like
Yeah, with
even
wood paneling and shit.
even the sports
fuck
cars
those
look like
cars.
garbage. Then, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
And looking back, I'm like, why would this look like this? Why would somebody sit
Because
down?
everything looked like that.
But what you could be like, I don't
No,
know
it's
that
just
that's
what the 80s
necessarily
and
what you're
90s
seeing
looked
now.
like.
But people are going to look back maybe on like certainly this design. I already think it looks like garbage, but maybe people like it.
No, I don't.
I also think Thomas's car looks like garbage. To be fair,
Well, that's because it does.
but you know,
It looks similar to this.
yeah,
I mean, that's why I said it shitted out of Scion XA.
yeah.
Oh,
I didn't even know.
I didn't know that was
I didn't
what
know
you
that
had.
was you had. Man, any like
I have an XB.
this fascination with square-shaped cars that just sort of exist with a certain segment of the population.
Dude,
That's another thing.
My dad really likes these cars. He says because they look small on the outside, but they have a lot of room in the inside.
Like, yeah, but they have unusable
what
room
he
in the
likes.
corners. What am I using the corner for?
Yeah, and they're ugly as
Yeah.
fuck.
It's just like I don't know why they don't get vandalized more.
Like, why do you need so much room?
Probably because
unless
people
you're a
know
parent,
that they
but-
already look like garbage. You don't need to make it look worse, I guess.
I feel like I hope we'll circle back around and make cars like take the good cars from like the 80s. And
To be fair, when Thomas told me
You know.
what car he got, I thought it would look worse than it did. I think I was thinking they have some other model that looks much worse, and then I saw Thomas. I was like,
Do
"Oh,
they?
this is
Yeah,
better
that's
than
the
I thought."
Scion XA.
Yeah, it's much better than I thought it was going to be.
the Scion XA. Oh no, this is like a single mom car.
I always
What,
hated.
the one that I have or the one in the article?
The Scion XA is like a single mom.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Corey. You know, for every car that looks like this, there's also all the Tesla designs.
Actually, my mom did have that car when she separated from my dad. So
Oh no.
good on you, Corey.
Yeah.
Fucking called it.
Maybe it's genetic.
She gave it to my brother, and he like fucking flipped that shit in like 3 months.
What car is your brother driving right now?
He is driving a Scion TC.
I thought it was a Scion. Didn't he have
Yeah,
a
it is.
Corvette before that? Before he wrecked it, or had it wrecked?
He actually somebody wrecked into it.
Yeah, I
but
didn't remember the
it was a
circumstances.
type Corvette.
Yeah.
No, this is not the car your brother has. He has like a coupe. Is the Scion X?
He has a
TC
Scion
coupe?
TC.
He has a coupe though, right?
No, it's a Scion TC. Not the coupe. It's the sports car looking one.
None of these look like his car though. But okay.
I don't remember it anyway.
Well.
Doesn't matter. No, but like the Teslas
Yeah.
look good though, Corey. So on the other end of the
Oh,
spectrum,
they do, you're
like,
right,
There's
yeah.
this piece of garbage where it's like, oh man, it looks bad. But on the other hand,
Like I don't know what you're going for. You're like it looks all futuristic.
Does it?
look at all
nice
these
curves.
angles. When
But
it's against a black
no.
background, the top half of it disappears, and it looks like a convertible. I guess
I don't know about the Tesla. The Model S, it just looks like a standard luxury car.
yeah. Well,
It
that's.
doesn't look that much different from anything.
I'm not saying it looks different. I'm just saying it doesn't look like garbage.
But that's
Oh,
like
yeah,
the
that's fair.
$70,000 one, right?
I think you might. I don't know.
I
Model
guess.
S.
That's what those cars. That's what $70,000 cars.
Yeah, that's what they look like. To be fair, that's
I mean,
just
they
what
don't
cars
have
at
to.
that price. You're right. They don't have to. But when you're trying to sell a car in a market, you generally make it look like your competition.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Like I've always. Sorry,
Go
go ahead.
Okay, that's what a $70,000 car currently looks like. So you make it look like that.
I've never been a fan of like what Mercedes cars look like. I've always thought Mercedes is an ugly car.
I can't even think of one offhand.
Exactly.
Well, I'm just
They're the
gonna
ones
Google
that
how
have
much
those two
Mercedes
little
is.
lights. The two, like a big light and a small light right next to each other.
I don't know.
I don't know. They just look like an old person car. But well, basically, what I want is I just want us to go all the way back and, like I said, bring back the nice cars from the '80s. Because cars don't have to look ugly as fuck.
I'm surprised there hasn't been more of a retro revival in car design. Like I would assume
There
that there would.
was,
Yeah,
wasn't there for a
there
little
probably
while?
has been, and I just didn't notice it. But you would think there would be at least a market for. Let's make
No,
a car.
yeah, I think it's been like entirely contained in like the muscle car area though.
Yeah. Like you can buy like the Shelby Cobra. You can buy like the an assembly for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a thing you can buy.
Of course, there's also the fact that anything anything on that tier would be much more expensive, and obviously nobody actually buys cars that are expensive anymore.
Yeah.
So we gotta wait like another solid 20 years for that trend to hit
Yeah, for that trend to hit
regular
the used car
prices,
market.
and then that trend to hit to be used,
Yeah.
and then I can start getting one.
I'm getting a used 2016 in like 2032.
Hey, man, maybe they'll be better.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Things are just more and more poorly made.
Yeah. Really need to fix that planned obsolescence issues.
Yeah.
Things just fall apart.
Literally.
Buddy Okonkwo running Apple.
What you know about Okonkwo?
He hung himself and he killed his adopted son, and his daughter went to join the witch people or whatever.
So all of it.
Yep.
He had
Well,
3
isn't there a
wives.
new movie coming out?
Probably. I mean, I don't think it's been very well adapted so far, and it seems like it's a staple of, for some reason, it's a staple of like the educational like literature that they teach a lot. So it makes sense that it would be adapted again.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw something that it was getting remade.
I mean, I haven't. I just
There's
take
a
your
bunch
word
of
for
things
it.
getting remade, Corey.
So many things being remade, man.
Yeah.
So apparently someone wanted... Well, the people who said that they wanted the selfies in the car are the same people who take those kind of surveys.
Yeah, no, they're the people who
That was a
sign up to
BuzzFeed
be
quiz.
focus groups.
Right, but they
Yeah, that was
also
a BuzzFeed
don't buy
quiz.
cars though.
Because they don't have any
No,
money.
yeah,
They're
they don't have
stupid.
any money.
Yeah.
Because they're buying stupid bullshit that takes selfies for them.
Like...
I feel like the selfie stick market and the buying a new car market probably don't overlap much.
The thing about the selfie sticks
See,
is that,
I
like...
think you're wrong, Ben.
All right.
Well, maybe. I think new cars are bought for them.
Sure, I guess you could say that, but I was specifically not thinking of that.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
Corey, you were saying something that's probably much more meaningful.
I was gonna say... I was gonna say the selfie sticks, like... Now just old people use them.
Yeah, because like
You know?
it,
Just
it
like
makes
Facebook.
sense. It makes sense for an old person to actually have a selfie stick because it also doubles as a cane.
No, it doesn't, Ben.
really
Those
doesn't.
things are made out of nothing.
But it could, though.
They're
It's my
not.
point. But it could. You could have a cane that's
It-
also a selfie stick. It could have an
The
attachment.
ones
Yeah, but
that
then
you
you go to
buy
take a
in-
selfie and you fall over.
The ones...
You always all the old people selfies are taken leaning against trees.
Hold on, Ethel. I'm going to take a picture. Oh, no!
the thing
Well, I mean,
is,
to
if
be
you
fair, they'd
buy,
also
like...
be
Then they're
taking it
dead.
with like an iPad. So obviously, they've just
Oh my god!
all that
dude.
weight they'd be tilted over.
People do that.
Yeah, old
like,
people.
You see people. I don't know why, man. All the zoos that I've been to, someone's there with a fucking iPad just snapping photos. I just want to take the iPad and throw it into the.
How
fucking
often are you at
alligator
zoos,
pit.
Corey?
Man, I'm just saying, like, every time I've been to a zoo, it happens. I think I went to 2 in the last
Cody
year,
found a
but
cheap
I
new
saw a
apartment
shitload of
complex.
people.
Turns out it's an orangutan enclosure that he's hiding out in.
If you lived in like an apartment
Fucking-
building next to a zoo, do you think you could see like the animals from your window? That'd be cool.
That would be terrible, man. In Minecraft, I already live next to a bunch of sheep and cow, and it's terrible.
Minecraft isn't real, Corey.
Oh shit! Isn't
No.
it?
Yeah, I know, and
Oh.
it's still bad in there. Imagine
Yeah,
if it was
dude.
real.
Well, to be fair, there's 1,000 cows in like a fucking 2-block square, so they're probably having a bad time in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, it'd be awful in the zoo. Put your fucking iPad away. Leave it at
Seriously,
home.
don't
man.
take your iPad out of your house.
and and if you're gonna bring it, take that little metal flap off so it doesn't look like you're carrying like a fucking giant ass book.
I guess you could work on one at like an office or something, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it makes sense.
Just don't-
but not to use it for fucking as your primary photo camera.
yeah, seriously.
And then there's the argument that it has a good
Has a
camera.
good-
Sure, it has a good camera,
but, like,
but it's big as fuck. If you have an iPad, you have an iPhone. Use that, right?
yeah, I guess.
No one has an iPad that doesn't have an iPhone. I mean, they do.
Maybe
but
they do.
they don't really.
Small children, for one.
My grandfather has an iPad and a flip phone.
I think
Oh.
old people is sort of implied when I say small children.
This
They're
is-
about the same level of
yeah.
technical
They
ability.
buy the same products. They eat the same food. They don't have.
Oh,
I don't know, man. Every once in a while, I hear like old people talking about how their like 10-year-old son is teaching them how to use, I don't know, an apps or something.
I mean, it makes sense, man.
look at this
people
cool
are-
app that I can spend all your money on.
People are like being raised like with like a better knowledge of like computer systems now, like not like an in-depth knowledge, but like a broad knowledge.
I mean, yeah, you would think so, but we saw that graph.
Yeah, no, that's
a
why
couple
I'm
weeks
saying
ago.
not depth. I'm saying broad.
Yeah.
So they understand like how to use multiple things. They've got the basics that apply to like a wide range of like UI design.
Yeah.
And that's just something that the older generations missed out on because just time issues.
So talking about something that isn't completely useless, HP has made their laptop, the Spectre, larger, thicker.
Oh, finally.
To put a better battery in it, and it adds 3 hours of battery life. So
How much thicker did they make it?
Like, it was
like
3.5 millimeters or something.
two. They made it 1.9 millimeters thicker.
Right.
That's nothing.
So like almost nothing for 3 hours more battery life.
I'd let them add an inch and just have like 3 days
No,
of battery
Thomas,
life.
an inch thick laptop? Are you kidding
Just
me?
make it
Well, I mean, it
8
would be
times
like an inch and
thicker.
a half total.
Thomas, then
Yes.
how much battery life do you think that 17-pound laptop has?
Probably not a lot because it looks like it draws a lot of power.
The one with 3 screens has to have none.
Oh no, the 17-pound one I remember looking at it actually like a single power brick that they normally manufacture isn't enough. It has 2 power bricks that you have to plug in.
So are there 2 plugs for it?
Yeah,
What?
it's just 2
Really?
separate. I don't like something about the conversions. I guess like one wall socket isn't enough. I suppose.
What?
Because I mean that's the only explanation I could come up with. Otherwise, they would just make it be one brick.
The HP Spectre is that gold and black one, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Also, it's pretty impressive that their 4K display laptop has 12 hours, almost 13 hours of battery life.
That is
So
impressive, actually.
That's really impressive.
Why do you need a 4K display on a laptop though?
I mean, there's a lot more increase in 4K media overall, Thomas. I can see why somebody might want it.
I mean,
But
but can you
but
even
what I-
tell?
Yes.
Honestly,
Absolutely.
yeah. The closer you're sitting to a screen, the easier it is to tell. So it makes more sense for a laptop to be 4K than it honestly does for a large TV on a wall.
I mean, I'm
I've-
looking at like a 1080p screen right now that's like about as close as I'd be comfortable having a laptop, and it's
No. I've been go to a Best Buy, dude. I've seen a 1080p and a 4K laptop sitting next to each other. You can
absolutely
the
tell.
difference.
I mean, you could tell the difference, but I mean, I can't see the pixels right now, man.
Well, then it doesn't. Whatever. You don't need it.
Well, I guess that might just be the anti-aliasing I'm seeing right now.
The thing about laptops, though, is it seems like people who are buying these kind of laptops, they keep them for like a year and then they get rid of them.
Yeah,
These aren't like laptops you keep.
they're not laptops you
like-
keep.
They're like graphics cards. They're like, that group of people who upgrade every time there's a new graphic card that comes out.
Sure.
Those consumers who buy the new iPhone that comes out every year. It's the same kind of people who do it. The entry-level model of this computer is $1,300. That's entry-level.
The Spectre.
Yeah, of this new Spectre.
You say how many hundred?
13.
13.
Jesus.
That's entry
I
level.
thought I misheard you saying 3.
No.
That's slightly
Oh,
more
no.
than this desktop cost.
No wonder did they make it out of actual gold?
Yeah.
I hope so, because it's fucking yeah.
Man, seems like a poor material design.
But yeah, when I was buying, like looking for laptops on the like used laptops on the internet, it was a lot of people just saying, "Yeah, I have too many gadgets. I have too many laptops. I'm just gonna get rid of this one." So it's totally people just buying, electronics to have them, and not use them. It's a thing, man.
Hey, there are people that just do that, I guess.
I mean, it's expensive, but it's cool. Like having the latest technology is nice, but it's expensive. Someone choose a topic.
Okay.
Talked a lot about tech. We could talk about Overwatch, or maybe wait.
I'm not feeling it.
You don't want to talk about Oasis?
I mean, I suppose they added a jump pad. Neat.
Yeah.
Also cars.
All the fucking hog. And
The jump pad and the cars are the same map, right?
Yeah.
So, all the innovation constrained to here. It's great.
I mean
think
the control point map that they have for Oasis that's like to the side, that one's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I like that it has like a whole lot of flanking routes on it.
That one's weird to me. Like, it feels like way more fighting happens off the point than you would think.
Yeah, I think that was the kind of point they were going for, because it's like it feels like a much smaller map, but that's just because of like the fucking 1,000 flank routes. It makes it like it has like a pseudo distance to it, I guess.
Sure. I don't know. I feel like I like the university one the most.
Is that the control point map?
That's
They're
the one
all
with the hole in the middle.
Yeah, it's the one with the hole in the middle. They're all control.
Oh yeah.
They're all control
That
points.
one's pretty cool. That hole is all those maps have like a whole lot of verticality to them that I just don't. I know I'm not using to its full ability.
Yeah, verticality's been relatively limited overall. Like, there's the one map on Lijiang Tower that had a lot, but other than that, there's not much other example-wise.
Yeah.
Lijiang Tower barely even counted.
Yeah, it's got one section, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's those
Like, no one
sections
does it
on
there.
Nepal in the
Hollywood does.
outside one.
Hollywood has quite a bit.
Hollywood
Yeah,
has
yeah.
like a ton of
Oasis.
verticality.
Thomas isn't gonna get it, but Oasis feels like a Gears of War map to me. Was there something similar to that in Gears?
I can see it, but I think I'm seeing it for different reasons.
It
think it's
reminds
just 'cause all the
me
walls
of
are so close together.
It reminds me of Hotel.
Yes, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're right.
The Gears 3 map.
Yeah.
Sure.
It
yeah.
feels like a Gears map to me, just like vaguely, just because of how like there's like a whole bunch of hallways that are like small, and there's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
just, like oh, you
Yeah.
can just wall bounce from here to here forever.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I think
Which I
it's-
guess you can
think
do
it's-
as Lucio.
I think it's really the stuff they added, like the jump pad and the cars. That's a really cool, like, thing they're playing around with.
They needed
The cars seem like fun.
They needed a new control point map too.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not even too crazy about the maps. Like, it's a cool map. I'm glad they're having it, but I just want a new game mode because it still feels like the same.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You're still just playing control or.
I'm worried that whenever they come out with a game mode, it'll still be way too similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's taken them this long. They're probably gonna think of something.
What do you think would be a good game mode to have? Like recently, I was.
What are we talking about when we say game mode?
Do you not know what a game mode is, Thomas?
I understand, but I want to be perfectly clear on the context
Okay,
we're going with here.
a game mode is a different objective in a game type.
Okay, so are we talking like the difference between like payload and
They have
assault
they have
and control
three.
point?
They have three in this. They have control point. They have payload, and they have
Okay.
hybrid.
Okay, see, because we could have also said, 4-person PVE like they did with the Junkenstein.
That would be
I-
be an example
Okay.
of a game mode. Yes,
I think that's gonna be a thing.
I do too.
I mean, yeah, like the.
I think it was so
people-
well received, and they pay attention to the.
Boy, they
subreddit.
pay
That's
attention.
why
They pay.
Mystery
Like I've never
Heroes-
seen
that's why
a
Mystery Heroes
community
is back.
manager or anybody in a gaming context pay that much attention. Like they're clearly paying a ton of attention just to, even to the subreddit. Like they have their own
Yeah.
forums as well, which they
The
obviously check.
the subreddit was bitching about how they wanted Mystery Heroes back, and like 2 days later, they put. It
And
back
then
in.
they said we
So
want a
that's why
dedicated
Mystery's
Oasis playlist, and that happened like 12 hours later.
Yeah.
They
I
probably
think
already
that was
doing-
just a scheduled.
that
thing
was probably
hadn't
just a
happened
scheduled
yet.
thing, honestly. Yeah, but
I mean, they probably would have put it in anyways. But I mean, I think that in terms of game modes, some kind of capture the flag kind of
capture the
thing,
flag makes sense for Overwatch.
or like a Guardian kind of.
I was
thing.
kind of thinking something
Maybe
like
not.
Rush.
Yeah, I don't think any of the maps would work for
Oh,
capture
yeah.
the flag, to be honest.
Rush would be.
Rush
cool.
would be cool.
Explain Rush to me, please.
Rush is a game mode in in Battlefield, in the Battlefield series, where it's similar to a King of the Hill type gameplay, but you capture a hill as an attacker, and then you progress to the next point, similar to how Volskaya works and whichever Temple of Anubis, I guess. But it's more of a linear path. It takes longer. There's different control points, and each one sort of plays. It would be a longer version of that, honestly, I guess.
Okay.
And we've always talked about. Well, I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but like, I want to see pirate ships.
Yeah,
in the sky.
I just want to see pirate ship fights.
like pirate battles.
I don't know why, but
You know?
a pirate ship map occurred to me. And
What
I
do
was
you
like,
mean you don't know why?
I don't know why
It's
it would have
obvious
occurred to
why.
me. Why? Oh, yeah, there's a pirate ship on
It's because
Temple of Anubis.
it's because there's so many like pirate skins.
Yeah, that's true. We did. Yeah, that's what it was,
They-
wasn't
There are
it?
like 2.
We worked through
No,
it.
Hog has
We
one.
no. To be fair, we were counting ones that probably shouldn't count, like the one Widowmaker skin that's all black leather or whatever it is.
that totally.
But we were
counts,
coming up with
dude.
all these
That's not
examples.
supposed to be
Colonial.
pirates.
It's
That's
not,
just
but
like
it kind of. That was the
colonial.
point. Was they're not really
It could
pirates,
work.
but some of them are sort of pirates.
It's like the East India Trading Company
Yeah.
characters.
Sure.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
But like, there's Junkrat, there's Roadhog, there's Torbjorn, there's Widowmaker, There are a few other examples, but I'm gonna have trouble coming up with them now.
I'm not really sure what it would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like, I don't know. Maybe the next character that they introduce is just like melee only or some shit, and so they just give him Widow's like grappling hook, and you just have 2 pirate ships in the sky and you just do it.
For some reason,
That'd
that
be
was something
fucking
that keeps
cool.
occurring to me. I guess it's because Doomfist, and nobody knows how a Doomfist character would work, and it seems pretty obvious that they have to do it at this point. I was like, well, what does Doomfist do? I assume he punches things. So
Yeah, but that's gonna be weird.
So how I was like, how do you have a? How, I was like, do you do a Little Mac character? Like, because that's
like an AOE stun kind of thing.
you would have AOE stun, you would have a dash attack, and you would have punches. I don't know what else you would do with them though. I'm not sure if it's interesting enough for them to actually implement.
I don't know, man.
have
They
like
need
like
to.
his fist just breaks off and it flies and it punches somebody like a fucking like 80s robot.
Like the thing from Hellboy.
The problem
Also,
I see
yes.
with it is you're running into is you have to make it significantly different enough from at least Reinhardt specifically is the one I would
Yeah,
like.
that would be an issue.
The problem, like AOE, obviously you run into like Earthshatter. It's like there's quite a bit of similarity to that. If you have an AOE that's a stun, which is usually what AOE effects are, is it's a stun.
Mm-hmm.
I
I don't know, man.
go ahead.
They have Sombra. They need to. Sombra needs to get figured.
They had a
out.
good. There was
I
a good
know-
idea on the subreddit today. Actually, was that they could have a damage boost when she's hacked someone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That one.
Makes
I
as
remember-
much sense as anything else being hacked.
Yeah.
So why not?
So someone asked the devs about Sombra being just like not played a lot, and they just said basically they want the community to figure out the player before they patch.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
Which
they're
is
gonna
perfectly
patch
fine
her.
because people bitch the same about Anna too, and now she's fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Man, I remember talking so much shit about Anna, and now it's like, why don't we have an Anna?
Yeah. Every time you
I
don't
don't-
have one,
I
you're like,
don't-
well, you know they're going to basically nerf her to death because she's so good, right, guys?
I mean,
Oh yeah, they're working on that.
Why
in the
wouldn't you?
PTR.
Why wouldn't you have one? Oh, I was doing commentary on why wouldn't you have one on your
Yeah.
team?
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think Roadhog's hook. I know everyone's bitching on the subreddit, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's gonna really like destroy
No,
him.
probably not.
Like that's what everyone said about Genji,
Yeah.
right? Everyone said Genji's.
To be
never
fair,
gonna
they
be
consider
played. People
Genji
play
destroyed
Genji.
currently.
Do
Yeah,
they? The subreddit?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
They
well,
consider Genji destroyed and Tracer completely useless, and Sombra not like a complete joke character. The only attackers that ever like Pharah, even they're like, why would you have a Pharah? And Reaper is the same way, just because they're not in the current
Who do they-
they're not in the current meta, so they're basically non-existent. The whole subreddit issue,
really?
the whole subreddit is way too meta focused. They care very much about what the top 500 people are doing at any given time.
I don't know, man. I see a ton of posts about people like promoting Junkrat and stuff,
Right.
or people promoting Torbjorn.
Yeah, there are, but there's so much focus on what the top 1% of people are doing that the
Yeah,
rest. Like,
that's what the hive mind never understands is that depending on like how high up you're going, there's different metas.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
like fuckers in bronze ain't doing no 4-tank bullshit.
like,
I
there's
mean,
a Symmetra
just
in
when they're
almost
playing
there's a
Bastion and
Symmetra
Torb
in
for
almost
3
every
days.
game I play, and I never see anybody talk about it.
I'm fine with
Exactly, but that's my point. Is
Symmetra's totally usable
exactly,
now.
but my
Her
point
shield
is,
gen
like,
is
the
great.
difference between the discussion and what I see in actually playing a game is significantly different.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, going back to Hogg's thing, I think I don't know. He seems a lot more. I haven't played him at all, so this is just looking at gifs and what people say. But it looks like basically if you get a hook on someone,
And they
like,
hit something, then it stops. Basically.
Zarya and below, you're gonna fucking kill 'em.
Yeah.
Like if the hook comes through and you pull them to you, they're gonna die.
They've made the
I
hook
think they made that
much
more
more lethal. I
consistent.
think overall, if you can get the hook, then it's a lot better.
Yeah, I think that's what they intended, and I agree with
Sure.
that. Like, if you get the hook, then if they made it so hard to get the hook. If you get the hook, they die.
If they leave in the
that's fine.
aspect where you can turn and drop people off cliffs, it's also way easier to get environmental kills. Like I don't know if you played with it in the PTR at all, but if you hook somebody next to a cliff, you just turn and they fall right off every time.
That's what you got to do with those diva
Yeah.
ults, man.
It's so much easier to
So
get an
rough.
environmental kill with Hook 2.0 than it was previously. And I don't even know if like the patch notes suggest that they were trying to do the opposite of that. So maybe that'll go away.
They say he's 180 degrees only, but people seem to be pulling more than that. I don't know.
I don't know. If they do reverse the changes on the hook, but keep, like, in terms of, like, grabbing people, but they keep the way it places them for better, like, shooting,
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, a lot of people would be happy about that, except for anybody who's fighting a Roadhog. So I think the only way to fix that would be to, like, have more, like, post animation, like, recover on it.
Yeah.
On his hook, so that way they can, like, Genji can pull up his E, or Tracer can use her E. People can use their E.
Here's one thing to consider is that with the changes to Diva, Reaper immediately becomes much more viable again, which means that Roadhog becomes increasingly less viable consequentially, because a Reaper can usually beat a Roadhog.
Oh yeah, the changes to Diva. They swapped her armor and health pools to where it's 400 health, 200 armor instead of 200 health, 400 armor.
Like,
so that way the spread attacks don't just disappear into the armor.
One more thing about Roadhog is, like, Roadhog's... I feel like they over-nerfed him a little bit, but Roadhog's, like, main thing was to be able to pick people off. That was his thing. His ult's garbage. Yeah. And, like, his other primary fires aren't very good. His main thing is to hook people. And
it's really his only thing.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, it seems a little harsh, but we'll see. We gotta let it play. But, yeah, Diva's ruined again.
I don't know.
I think they're getting closer to a perfect point for Diva. Like, I think she was, like, too buff, and now it might be a little underpowered, but I think they're getting closer to the right point.
Once you get rid of her armor, she gets melted. Because everyone targets her always.
Yeah. I don't know. They might eventually do something about her head hitbox.
Maybe
like, to where it's not in the middle of her fucking thing
instead of armor or something.
Maybe not have the head hitbox be a thing when she has armor still.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Because it's not like there isn't a piece of glass there or something.
I haven't played Overwatch that much lately.
Yeah, me either. Too busy playing Minecraft.
Yeah, it's currently been the thing to
That's
do.
the autism of the month right now.
Man,
yeah.
I still don't care about it.
What about Minecraft?
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like you'll fall into it eventually
Maybe.
again.
Well, that's because you're not doing things with other people, Ben.
That's just everything you're doing is goddamn Hitler related.
I've
Not
been digging in a
necessarily.
hole.
You're literally dressed as Hitler.
That was from like years ago. And like, to be fair, when Thomas did this bullshit before, I basically didn't even play.
Yeah.
I was just in the world, just hanging out. So, I don't know. I found that I like digging again.
Kid
like
loves
exploring
digging holes.
But yeah,
man.
Ben, we were doing earlier today in Minecraft, we were doing like tandem cave exploration. Corey was like placing
was great.
torches and taking care of monsters while I was getting all the minerals. That way we could just knock it all out real quick.
I don't know how dungeons work. I thought for sure there would be a dungeon down there just because there were so many mobs.
Yeah, that's not how mobs necessarily spawn. They just spawn in like dark open places.
But there was so many though.
Yeah, that's because there was a big dark open place there.
I broke that wall down and there was like 10 zombies there.
Yeah.
And you just stood there and didn't do anything.
Well, that's because I didn't want to hit you with my sword. That's kind of the issue.
Oh.
Is the game on hardcore?
No, it's on easy.
Really?
Put it on normal.
Put it on normal.
Yeah, I could put it on normal, yeah.
That'd be more fun.
I don't even know what that changes. Probably just
pick
hunger and damage.
Pick one of these discussion.
What was that?
Or we could talk about the man who wants to sue pornography companies.
Just
Why does he want to sue
generally?
pornography companies?
Yeah. He wants to
Is it
sue
something
them.
about porn addiction?
Yeah, it's about porn addiction.
Of course it is.
Hey man,
That's
that's going to be
fucking
his
stupid, though.
platform. Is it? He thinks it's a
Oh, this
public
is a
health
man
crisis.
paving. Oh, this is a lawmaker trying to make that an option.
Trying to make what
Okay.
an option?
The lawsuits, like they're obviously not a thing that can actually happen right now.
Well, I'm sure they could.
But this is a lawmaker trying to make it an issue, like to where you can sue people for that.
For producing it at all?
For
Causing like physical damage to you or something.
Does this guy live in Utah?
yes, good
Look
call,
at him.
Ben.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City.
Dude,
Yep.
that's obviously a Mormon, dude. That couldn't be
Yeah.
Mormon. That's like the most Mormon thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, no, it's fucking stupid. You can't sue McDonald's for your ass eating a fucking Big Mac every day.
I mean, people do that, though.
I would know. I mean, yeah, but they lose.
Yeah,
I think.
I guess I don't know.
Wouldn't
I've
they?
never actually looked into it.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I think it's a frankly un-American like way to even go about this.
To be fair, like pornography laws are different. Like they've changed pretty radically over time.
Yeah, but I mean,
Aren't they-
just like I'm just talking like the general philosophy behind our law system.
All right, I've so
is
it's like
more about
you
individual
pay
responsibility.
someone to
than
have
this
sex
bullshit.
with you, and that's illegal. That's prostitution.
It's
But,
slightly
yeah.
variable, but generally, yeah.
But then you pay someone to have sex with someone else, and that's fine.
Yeah. The laws don't have to make sense, Corey. It's all part of
There's a
weird.
lot
It's
of
just-
like, I think you have to like get licensing and permits, and
You absolutely
like,
do not.
adhere to a whole bunch of standards, Corey.
No, you really don't.
It's not
Thomas.
just no. We have a camera. It's all kosher.
People. Thomas, people sell sex tapes of themselves all the time.
Yeah, I know, and I don't think that that's a good idea. That generally works. Like,
There
I
are
think that
companies that
generally
just buy
works
that.
for people who have money, because who's gonna sue?
This man will sue you.
Whatever.
He wants to. It's a public health crisis, everyone.
Yeah, he's saying, I'm concerned that the average age of first exposure to hardcore sex videos on the internet is now the age of 11. So he's once again, people are just once again deferring responsibilities from the parents onto the government.
Where are the parents?
Yeah,
as
no,
Francis
where
Higgins
is
says.
the fucking just content blocking on your computer?
I don't know.
Just being an active parent.
Being a parent's hard, Thomas. Why can't we have the government do it for me?
That's what he's
Ben,
trying to do, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? It's like, oh, I have a different view on women now. Give me money. Like, what?
I have
do
no
you-
idea
how
what
do
Corey's
you-
talking about.
How do you sue them? How do you do it?
I
What do you say?
mean, I could probably just take a picture of my apartment and say, you helped cause this. Just take a picture of myself and be like, look at me. This is what you wrought.
Oh, God. Okay.
No, it's impossible to prove, like, what's it? First off, there's no general intent. And second off, there's no way to, like, prove that this specifically caused damage unless, like, maybe you get, like, a government psychologist or something to say, yeah, no, his ED is because of this.
I don't know, man. Like the level of what is it? The standards that you're held to in a civil case are significantly different than they are in a criminal case. Like it really just comes down to like
yeah,
a
I suppose
judge's.
this would be civil, wouldn't
It
it?
just really comes down to like a judge's opinion on the situation. So hypothetically, in Utah, for example, if they found a sympathetic judge, they could bring enough trial. They could bring
would be
cases like in a specific district, so that they would end up in front of judges that they knew would be sympathetic to their case.
Isn't .xxx a thing?
Yeah, it is.
What the hell did you say?
.xxx, the top level domain.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, if you could...
It's
never
specifically for websites about the series of movies with Vin Diesel.
Is it?
mind. Are you serious?
No!
Oh.
When's that new one come out? And should I see any of them?
Is it an actual thing? I just thought Funhouse was doing a bit.
What? No, Triple X Return of Xander Cage.
Yeah, I thought they were just doing a bit. Are
No,
you
that comes
serious?
out in February.
Wow. Okay.
If I had to... Okay, so I've only seen State of the Union.
I've seen
which
none
is
of them. I don't know what they are. My question is, are
think
they
s-
worth watching?
Okay, there's a couple of them, and I think State of the Union's the second
Yes,
one.
it's Triple X and there's Triple X State of the Union.
Okay, so it's like a bad Die Hard movie.
So,
kind
so
of
a
bad?
so a Die Hard movie.
Oh shit.
I don't know. It's
Die Hard
it's
movies
just
on
like-
average are-
Calling you out, Bruce Willis.
Die Hard
Come
movies
the
on
cast,
average
we'll hash
are
this
bad.
shit out.
Thomas. There's been 5 of them, and 4 of them aren't very good.
Maybe
Yeah, I
a
know.
Steven Seagal movie.
Oh,
That level of cheese.
that's not good, Corey.
Maybe a little bit less cheese, but
Maybe
on the
that with
same
better
plane.
production.
You guys want to
That's
watch Triple X
what
for
I'd say.
next week?
Yeah.
The first one?
Yeah, I'm down
All right.
with that.
I've like only vaguely seen the series,
Yeah.
so I'd be down.
I have no idea what they're about. I've seen a commercial for the new one, and he's riding a jet ski on a wave, which immediately I thought he was like a spy or something. So I have no idea what these movies are about.
What's the first one called?
Triple X.
You just type in XXX and it's just porn.
Yeah, we'll try
No,
triple
yeah,
X
he's
movie.
an athlete turned reluctant spy.
You
though.
type in XXX movie and that's porn too, Ben. Think
I
about
don't know,
that.
man. Just figure it out.
Just search also Vin Diesel.
Okay.
But put
you
Vin
guys
Diesel
have
in quotes because there's plenty of porn and that go by something.
Maybe if
Diesel.
you do the casing correctly.
Wait a minute. Let me just type in just XXX movie and see what happens.
What if you do the casing correctly?
Oh, no, the first one. Oh, it's good. If you type in XXX movie, it's fine.
Nope, that
Oh,
did
wait.
not work for me.
Into the pirate. I guess?
Oh, I
No, yeah.
didn't put movie. Whoops.
I mean, I did, and the first thing
I
I got
think-
is Private Tropical Volumes 1 through 34.
I think the fourth result
That's
is
28 gigs of
a porn
pornography.
story of a call girl. Isn't that a porn? That's probably a porn.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. First one is the IMDb.
There's 12 years between these movies. It must be awful.
Hey man, The Mummy is a long time. Oh wait, no, they've been making those movies for.
Also, the new one has almost nothing to do with the old one.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys a
Well,
link to the one I found. It's the unrated director's cut.
All right.
You're just gonna fucking send links to illegally download movies on my podcast?
I can't believe you would suggest.
Illegal?
I can't believe you
No.
would suggest I would do that.
This is an Amazon link.
Okay, good.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you found that. I wasn't able to find.
Hopefully,
that,
I
'cause
can
don't
get
know.
it for cheap using a rental service.
Oh, it's only rated 5.8.
Ooh,
I just, like,
that is
whatever.
not great.
It's a movie. It's a movie to just watch. It's
As
like,
opposed to those other movies where I just listen.
Man, I
It's
always
spend-
Every
forget
once in
that
a while, I
have
just try and eat one, see how that goes.
it's like the Expendables, man. That's basically it's like that level of cheese.
I feel like
too.
Expendables.
I always forget that I have all these video options on Amazon that I've not like.
Yeah,
bothered
that's
with
the thing.
all.
There's so much stuff on with the Amazon Prime membership. Like, there's so much stuff on Prime TV or whatever it's called.
There's your hole in the wall, friends.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime has
Yeah,
a lot
like
of
if you
shit.
spent money on Amazon Prime, fucking check out their movie selections. They got a Grand Tour, which is dank. That's Top Gear guys in the show.
Also,
doing
you
because
know,
he punched a
Prime
guy.
Music is also great.
Man in the High
can-
Castle, where the good guys won World War II.
Yeah.
You can also get a free Twitch subscription every 30 days. Link to the Techies Twitch in the description. Go ahead.
What?
You get a free Twitch subscription every 30 days. Thomas,
Yeah, you do.
With Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
So someone should. Thomas,
Wait, you have
subscribe
to
to the
pay for
Techies.
Twitch subscription?
No, there's you do, but there's also
Normally you do.
you also get
But if you
you
have
also get
Prime-
Twitch Prime when you have Amazon Prime.
How do you?
Yeah.
What?
And Twitch Prime gives out free games. That's our actual hole in the wall. You can get free games through Twitch if you have an Amazon subscription. Yeah,
God damn! I'm learning so much today.
I know. It's like it's a
Oh,
useful
Gremlins was
podcast.
on here.
Yeah, that's how I watched it.
It's also on YouTube, so who cares?
Whoops. I didn't. I think I got Interstellar on here.
Yes, if we gave a whole list of all the things that are on Prime
The,
movies or whatever, there would be. A
I
long
remember
time.
when Prime Movie like first came
Yeah.
out. It was
terrible.
Yeah,
No one
I
knew
looked at
how
it
it
then
worked.
and then never until like basically.
Basically,
Yeah,
like it was hard.
exactly.
It used to be hard to find even.
Yeah, because they would tell you not Twitch, Amazon Prime movies, and then like some of them you had to pay for.
Yeah, it was just
Some
it was
of you
just
Yeah.
it was a
didn't.
nightmare. And then they were
Nobody
like,
knew
"Look,
how
we're
it
gonna
worked.
get a Zombieland show," and then I stopped paying attention, and then I hear it was awful, and no, I never looked
Because
back
of
again
course.
until recently.
Because of course it's awful.
Obviously,
man.
it didn't have any of
Why
the
would it not
cast.
be?
It's like, did you guys watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles?
Yes,
Nope.
I did when it was coming out, and not since.
Was it good?
I think it might have been pretty good, but at the time, I was watching it as it was coming out, and every once in a while I would miss an episode, and I would come back. But I feel like I don't know, I guess it ran 2 seasons, or maybe it ran 3 seasons. Whatever it was, the last season felt like it was garbage, and they left it on a cliffhanger, and then the show ends.
Nice.
Like a pretty,
I was
like
gonna
like
say-
the most interesting thing that happens in the entire series is the cliffhanger in the last episode. So
Because I was gonna say that's another garbage like a movie to TV.
yeah, they were also
series
trying to
thing, but I
sell
wasn't
the idea
sure.
of John Connor, wanting, he was like he had a crush on the Terminator that was with them, so it was mad weird.
What?
Yeah, like they were
Yeah.
doing weird things with the plot.
Okay.
So, also it was a time travel show, so they time traveled to whatever the current year was, and they were living then.
Fantastic.
Like it was taking place now, so that they didn't have to deal with like incongruities in the timeline or whatever. So like in the first episode, they time traveled to like 2009 or whatever.
Groot is going to be in Infinity
Everyone's
War.
in Infinity War, Corey. The entire Guardians cast.
Oh.
Yeah.
And there's also Fast and Furious 8, 9, and 10. Jesus
I
Christ.
thought this was the fate of the Furious. How do you do one after that? That sounds pretty final.
It was announced.
Sure.
2021. Jesus Christ. 2021. God damn, that's fucking...
Man, I remember when Marvel announced all their movies for like 5 years, and now we're running up on like the last few of them. There's like nothing on the horizon after those.
Well, that's because...
They stopped making money somehow.
Well, they've made
No,
more
they
money
Started
than
spending
ever.
all their money on craft services.
Disney
instead.
made the most money of all time this year.
Stop talking about the
Yeah.
catering services, Thomas. That's all you talk about.
Thomas just wants
Is
to
it?
get in movies so that he can get free food.
Basically.
The food's not even any
Yeah,
good.
it's
I want to
probably
get paid at a place that gives me food.
they'd probably bring you whatever you wanted, man.
But they're mostly just grapes and bread.
But they would just bring you whatever you wanted. Like you would just say, "Bring me this," and they would go get it.
Yeah, but
Hey,
Thomas
go to
wouldn't be
Subway.
any-
Get me this with this. No, don't write it down. I want you to have to remember.
Thomas
like-
Thomas would be the guy that got money and then still eats at Subway every day.
It's like I asked someone to get me some Subway one time, and they forgot the Chipotle sauce.
It's
and I
like
was
just
fuck, I
throw
might
the
as well
sandwich in the
throw it
garbage.
away.
Why did you even come back?
Yeah.
Seriously,
I know.
no, that's awful.
I told them too. I was like, make sure you get the Chipotle sauce, and they fucking
Just bring me a
forgot. And I was-
bottle. I'll make my own sandwich.
What's the point of it, man?
You just pull it out of like a jacket pocket. It's okay. I've got my own for emergencies.
I was carrying hot sauce on my person for a little while there, but I stopped because it was weird and I didn't like it.
Yeah, it was
Did
weird.
you stop? I didn't know you stopped.
Yeah.
I just assumed you always had it on
No.
you.
Plus,
It
plus
just hasn't come up recently.
I didn't used to have a phone, right? So I didn't have. I was like, so I just needed something to carry. Like everybody's always carrying all these things, and all I had was a wallet, and that was it. And so I was like,
He's
might as
sitting
well-
on the
might as
bus.
well have
Could have
some
bought a
hot
gun
sauce.
then.
Everyone's checking their phone, and he's gonna sit there and read a hot
He's
sauce
reading hot
label.
sauce ingredients.
That's even worse than you would think because it's only like 5 things. It's like salt and
Oh,
vinegar.
this is
and
how many
pepper.
Scoville? Wow.
Like lots of hot sauces have like 3 or 4 ingredients, and that's it.
Better than like polishing a gun or something. That's what Thomas.
You can't just sit around polishing a gun in public, man.
Who's gonna stop me?
The
I have
police.
the gun.
Just throw it out the window.
Sir, are you just cleaning a gun here at this public like bench? Yeah,
I gotta
am.
clean it sometime, and I
Gotta
wasn't
clean
doing
it
it.
sometime. And I am homeless.
I'm,
I spent all my rent money on this gun. Isn't it
In
neat?
the tent over there. Oh man. Alright. Well,
I hope you've enjoyed our episode this week.
I know I did.
it was
Portable poo
Portable poop huts.
huts. Poo huts.
Poo huts.
Movable
I'm
poo
glad you put it
I like
down
poo
because we
huts.
weren't going to remember.
Not
Yeah.
poop, but poo huts. Portable poo
Yeah.
huts. Yeah.
It's like chemical
S.
toilets, but like
Or no P.
less specific, I guess.
Only for pooping, no peeing. Only
Number
take
2
solids.
only.
Jesus Christ. All right.
It's movable poo
Fine.
hut.
Movable portable poop. Oh god.
I don't know. It'll be what it is. It'll be, like people will see it before we even.
It will be what it
They'll
is.
hear us say
he
chemical
says.
toilet, and then we'll change it, and then say, "Oh, these guys don't know what they're talking about."
You just have to go to an hour and 52 minutes in, then you can find the actual name.
It's an hour and 53 minutes now.
Oh, look at you.